Happy Whiskey Monday, everyone. Want to see if anyone joins in here. We're trying something new here, so I'm going to see if anyone jumps on here, see if this thing works. So bear with me here. I'm lighting up a BS Gold. Happy to have it back in. See what we got going on here. Well, it's definitely posted on my end, so we'll see. Looks like I got a couple people logged on here. See how this works. Well, I got Sean on there. Sean, you in a quiet area there? Oh, you're on YouTube. All right. Let's see here. See if I can try this. Yeah, see, there you go. I can throw that up there right there. So this may be a slow start here, everyone, but let me see if I can do this. I'm going to take that off. Hang on one second here. Bear with me. And this, you guys obviously don't need to stick around here, but let me see if I can maybe get Sean on here. Trying to, like I said, a new technology here. So let's see if anyone comes on. We're going to have a conversation since everyone is basically staying home right now, or, more or less, possibly more here shortly. So hang on one second here. Sean, I'm going to try to shoot you a message, see if it works. See what happens. Sean, let me know if you get that. And then if anyone else wants to log on, we can maybe have a conversation. I'm going to see if this works, see if you guys hear me. That we might have to transition to this for the time being, with all things considered, if we're going to continue doing these podcasts. So not trying to be that guy, but just trying to be realistic. So if you guys are out there, let me know, because I am not able to necessarily see. I got 11 people on, but I can't really see anything else at this point. Let me log on my phone here. Maybe that'll work. Let me log on. I got 10 people. Let's see if I can pop this up here. Try to figure this out, and then we get smoother with this, and we can go with it if need be. And we can also do this more and get some guests from out of town. But now, Sean, I sent it to you on Messenger. Let me see if I can do it this way here. Let me send it to your Facebook Messenger, maybe. See if that works. Got one like there. Thank you very much. Let's see if I can get it up here. So now I can see some comments here. Sean's on Facebook. I'm going to see if we can get him up on this thing. Miguel, you're watching. Thank you, Miguel. We're just trying some things out. Eric Goldhaber. Basically, if anyone wants to try to join the feed, I know we've had some other ones that are doing this. Jamie Hurst is on there. We can have some. Yeah, Avi, it's a Monday party. So message me if you want me to try to get something to you, and we'll see if we can get a conversation going. I think everyone's hitting this point where don't know what the hell's going on. So I don't have any answers, but at the very least, we can have a conversation if anyone wants to. And I don't want to have a political conversation, but we might be able to do this also on top of the podcast at some point, where we can have kind of a community conversation. And I think I can have, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 people. Probably should look into that and find out. Got no one trying to get on here. If anyone wants to get on here, I'll send you the link to try to join the conversation. We'll see. Let's push this thing and see what happens. But if you guys are smoking, drinking, if you guys are trying to get on here, I can send you it, but make sure you're in a quiet area or that you have like headphones or something like that. I don't know if, yeah, Sean said he got it. I don't know if you've clicked on that and been able to follow that. Avi says send. All right, here, let me see if I can get it to you, Avi. I'm going to send it through Facebook here, and you can then just, I think, no, I don't want that. Let's see here. Avi, let's send it to you here, see what's going on. He's in the shed, so maybe he can get on. All right. Yeah, Avi, I sent it to you. Guys, sorry this is a little boring. We're 6 minutes in, but I'm just seeing if we can get the conversation going. And then I'm watching the comments on my phone, and I'm using my laptop here. Again, this is not the normal format, but again, we might have to get to this. Sean, you might have to use your settings on that on your phone and make sure that your browser is allowed to use the mic. See if you can mess around with that. Or if you have a computer that you want to get on or something like a laptop or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to see if we can get this thing going. But if you guys can't log on and you guys want to, like, what are you guys smoking? If you guys want to, if you're just hanging out at home right now, I know it's a tough time for everyone, but my Monday night's free. I'm planning on going to the shop tomorrow night. But if you guys want to try to log on here, if you have anything going on and what do you guys think, what's going on, we can have a conversation. Maybe I can direct it. I know this isn't the normal format, and that's why it's not a substitution for the podcast, but it's going to be something that possibly for the Bourbon and BS community page, which I guess I should share too. Let me try to do that. We'll also be able to do this on YouTube Live as well. So that'll be another platform for everyone. Let me see if I can share this. I got Avi coming on. Hang on one second here. I'm going to post this in the Bourbon and BS community page, see what happens. Let's see here. Avi, you on?
I'm on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're a little delayed. How's it sound on your end?
You sound great.
Okay. I got the microphone plugged into the laptop here. See, what are you smoking tonight, man?
Aging room.
Aging room. So you got smoking the BS Gold here. Just messing around with this. If anyone else wants to join the conversation, we might be able to actually get more people on because you can do this fun stuff. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Actually, your lips are moving as you speak. There is no delay on your
really? Because on my end, it looks a little delayed. It looks a little choppy. So I wonder if it's just, when it streams it or whatever to you. You look very, very clear. I'm interested on the actual feed, how it looks. Yeah,
I'm on an iPhone, by the way.
Yeah, I know the iPhone works. Sean's not able to get. I think he's got an Android of some sort, but he's not able to get that to work on his yet. So we might have to figure that out.
He needs to copy and paste the link you sent, and paste it in a Chrome browser.
Yeah, I'll probably have to tell. He's probably trying to use whatever browser he has.
So that's good. You're very clear.
That's good.
Video and audio.
Yeah, I figured I'd go live with this and see, and then see if this works. And Kylie's asking to try her, so let's see if she can get on here.
So you're gonna have your host or the three people sitting at home.
That's the thought, because I'm fully, like, I had Spencer and John Michael scheduled for this week, and I am fully prepared to basically have them say, at some point they're not allowed to be on the road.
Got you.
Oh, there's Sean.
All
We
right.
got 3 on there.
I'm gonna wait
Hey.
quietly here. Oh, somebody's coming in. Who's that?
We got
Sean?
Sean on there.
That's me. Hello.
Sean.
Sean, you
Hey,
smoking in the house?
I wish.
Yeah.
I mean, I could if I wanted to not get divorced.
Now's not the time to do that, you know?
No, I don't have nowhere else to. Well, Steve, I can go to your house.
Well, perfect.
I cannot
Perfect.
hear him.
Dave says it looks good. Oh my gosh. I invited Kylie to see if we can add more people. I don't know how many people I can add.
Got people showing up now.
I cannot hear Sean.
You cannot hear Sean?
No, Sean.
Let
Talk.
me take the mic out. Here, you guys hear me now?
You can't hear
Steve,
him.
you hear me? You hear me? Okay.
Maybe just you as a host. I cannot hear him.
All right. How do I?
He probably had too many cigars yesterday.
I mean, it doesn't say you shouldn't. Let me see. Maybe it's. There's Kylie.
Hey,
Oh, I can hear Kylie.
You can hear Kylie, but you can't hear
I can hear
Sean.
Kylie.
Correct.
I hear Kylie. You hear me now?
yep.
All right. So Kylie can hear Sean. So maybe.
Kylie,
Navi,
are
you
on
still
an iPhone?
can't.
What?
Are you on an iPhone?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on a droid.
Painted in blue and throw it to the ocean, man. You're Android.
Screw you. It's a good thing you
Hey.
can't hear me.
But look, I'm doing something bourbon and BS related.
Yeah, I know, because it's not an official podcast, and the whole shit's hitting the fan right now.
And when I put my glasses and my hat on, nobody knows who I am. So
It says Kylie B on the corner.
shh, that could be Kylie anybody.
Sean, can you try to log back in with that link and see if Avi can hear you?
Yeah.
All
Can
right.
Kylie hear? Can Kylie hear Sean?
Yeah. Kylie, you can hear Sean, right? Or you could?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I can too. And everyone out there can hear as well. It says,
That's pretty cool, man.
someone-
You're becoming like very sophisticated with this.
well, I'm
podcast.
trying, and like I said, I'd like to eventually like get another, like I'll put like a webcam on the tripod and we can do it that way and figure out, you know, like have it all run through if someone had the laptop, you know, and do it that way. We can still have the studio here, but get someone else out there. But for the
You know,
time
so this
being,
is
my
my-
thought was is this is be the time that fuck, if we can't leave the house at some point, we can still at least have a conversation.
Not just that, but like, you know, like other those Coop, the guys that have like lots of whatever followers and stuff, they do with Perdomos and
Yeah.
the Rocky Patels, and they do it remotely.
That's right. All right, we got Sean back on. Ooh. No, Sean, yours
No, I'm
isn't
kidding.
working
I'm
very
messing
well.
with you. I'm messing with you. I'm screwing with you.
I
What about
hear
now?
Now you don't want to now though.
him.
You don't want
I
to.
can hear him.
All right, I'm gonna try one
Yeah.
more person here.
What is that?
What is that? Is that a vibrator?
It's not mine.
Depends.
Yes, maybe. No, I got a work Skype thing. Every time I get a Skype from work, it alerts me. I gotta turn it off. Bear with me.
Perfect. It's all right. So yeah, Kylie, you home? You're moving, you said.
Yeah, I'm working on it
Yeah, that's probably flawless at this point.
completely.
How are you
Yeah,
having a drink over there?
Nah,
Just the smoke.
I should have gotten the drink. It was a crazy day. You know what? Laptops today
Yeah.
was like crazy, like toilet paper. You cannot find laptops anymore in the market.
Really?
Dude, it's insane. Everything. Like I was looking at the webcams that were just dime a dozen, Logitech Basic, like $100 or whatever. All of a sudden, it's like all out of stock and everything. I was like, everyone's got a webcam already. Like, who's buying these things?
Right. I have a couple for you at the shop that we don't use, Logitechs. They're decent.
Yeah.
If you need USB ones, if you need for like podcasts for some people that I don't use. But yeah, Kylie, laptops, I do IT and people want to work from home all of a sudden, of course, then laptops
sense.
are not available anymore.
I don't think I've had a laptop without a webcam on it though, ever.
That's kind of my point.
That's the thing.
Right. Most people have it on.
Like even my giant brick of the work computer has a camera on it.
Yeah.
They're talking about possibly stopping domestic flights later this week too, which will just screw me.
I saw that.
That'll screw a lot of people, actually. But
Well,
one of my pilots talked to one of his buddies who's an airline pilot, and he's got it. He's got the coronavirus, and he said it's horrible.
He's feeling like basically like bad flu.
Yeah, I mean, he tested positive, and I think he said it's like having glass in your lungs and shit. So,
Wow.
I think it's
So
gonna be fun. I mean, he's a little bit older, he said, but still,
So he's having some severe stuff.
yeah. But
We
if
have
the pilots are starting to get it, then it's just kind of a matter of time, you know.
Right. Right.
we have the primary elections tomorrow, and I think after that they're gonna shut it all down.
Well, here in Ohio,
Like-
I don't know if you guys saw that DeWine was trying. So I just got an alert on my phone that the judge denied it.
Oh, denied it?
Oh,
That,
Denied
that
shit,
was-
he's gonna
what?
yeah.
kill him.
yeah, it says,
Cancel the-
You want to push it back?
yeah, court. Well, no, now it says granted.
no, until June.
The judge rejected lawsuit to delay it, 10 TV says, and then CNN says court grants Governor DeWine's request to move the state's primary scheduled for Tuesday to June.
Yeah.
That's part of this whole fucking issue is that everything says something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if that thing I posted about San Francisco being on quarantine for 3 weeks was legit. Well, it's TMZ. I mean, they're over the top, but usually they're pretty. I
So
guess
that was on CNN. That was on
No,
It was
CNN.
on CNN too.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was
but
nightly
I was
news. They're
It was
done.
what?
Yeah. They were on nightly news on NBC. San Francisco. They're quarantined now.
for 3 weeks.
Yeah, at home.
Wow. So that's what everyone's saying is going to hit any major city at this point.
Chicago.
You guys aren't that big.
Chicago isn't
Yeah, I don't think
big
so.
enough.
Is it?
That's what she said.
Oh,
Ew.
and this is why you can't
Ew.
come on the podcast ever. So I sent a couple other invites out to Kyle and Bobby and see if anyone wants to come on and check this out. But you guys, if you guys don't want to hang out, that's fine. I just figured we'd try it, and I got nothing else going on tonight, and
I'm obviously very busy.
you seem busy.
Yeah, we got a lot to
I've-
do.
I only came on here to tell you about my new favorite product.
It's a fucking candle, I swear to God. Oh Jesus! Now they're
Smells
all
really good.
Oh, somebody's coming in.
Oh,
What up?
Bobby Crow.
if we could all just do this every night.
I think we might have to at some point.
I have enough for everybody here in Dallas.
You what's in Dallas?
This huge fucking place.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, no, how's everybody doing in Ohio?
Good. Basic.
Living.
Kylie, what's going
I
on in
work in
Chicago? What-
aviation, so
What do you mean? Like
Like,
in regards to what?
with everything? Like, what's your current situation? Like, bars and restaurants are done.
Except for carry out and
Right.
drive through and delivery. The grocery store by my house, I picked up normal stuff yesterday. I didn't wait that long in line.
Yeah.
I mean, they still, out of toilet paper and, sanitizing wipes and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm told because I don't work for the CDC. I don't work in public health. I am not an expert in this area, so I'm going to listen to the people who are. And yesterday, the governor and the mayor, did a broadcast, and they were saying, they asked everybody to stay in for the weekend, and then all these people were out for St. Patrick's Day partying, and they basically said, since you couldn't do it on your own, we're going to do it for you.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened, I think, with like the CBJ, like Blue Jackets here, originally, where it was like the 100 people here in Ohio. Like, basically they were going to go on as planned over last weekend, but then it was basically, he even said, he's like, some organizations, some big organizations need to be told what to do. And I mean, I get that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know if anybody needs like toilet paper or any like hand sanitizer. Like, I'll be more than happy to ship something from.
Is it available down there?
I mean,
Or did you
so-
buy like 3,000 rolls?
I didn't buy 3,000 rolls. I mean, I bought like 5 actual packs. So it's just one of those things where I just I got it. So if my neighbor needed something, or if
Yeah.
somebody I knew in the building needed something, I can at least give it to them.
Yeah.
I know my cousin, I'm sending some stuff over to her just because I can. And that's the thing, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just sending stuff away just because not everybody has the means to get everything they need either. So that's the other scary part about all this.
Well, that's for me. It's so, and we don't have to. I mean, you guys, again, if you want to talk about it, we can. I'm just saying, like, I was talking with Liz about it, and one of the things I talked to her about was it's funny, like all this thing about the well-being of everyone else, and trying to save lives and trying to not spread this shit. And then when it comes down to it, and they're talking about staying in and making sure everyone's got their supplies and they're buying up everything and taking things from other people. I mean, it's absolutely a selfish mentality what's going on out there, but they don't talk about that shit. They talk about like trying to like make sure that everyone's going to be not contagious and all that stuff, which I appreciate. And I think that's absolutely right. But when the true human behavior comes up and they're like making sure they have enough ammo, they're making sure that they have enough toilet paper, they're making sure they have enough food for everything, all other things are out. It's ironic in my opinion.
I text my therapist today, and it was funny because her and I last week were talking about how I live in survival mode, and I have for so long because of what I experienced as a kid.
Right.
And I texted her today. I said, we were talking about survival mode, but who's joking now? Because I have plenty of toilet paper and paper towel and water bottles and everything that I need. So it's actually kind of working out for me because I already had everything I needed.
Well,
I know how bad that sounds, but now everybody knows what it feels like to be in survival mode like that. It's terrible.
You're not wrong. It's just like the whole savings, like everyone should have enough savings and all that stuff. And it's like, that's just not the fucking case. I mean, it's just not, that's not how this works. Sadly. I mean, everyone wishes they had more money in the bank and all that stuff. And I mean, hell now, like everyone's investments at this point is you can't even pull out of your investments in a good way right now, unless you absolutely have to. And it's scary just in that sense. Because everyone wishes they had, a bomb shelter with it fully stocked, but not the case.
Steve, any news for you?
Steve? Refinance your house.
What about
refi the house?
Tinderbox?
I don't know if I can get that done right now. I can't. I can't really go down to the office.
Well, you can email your banker. The rates are so low now; it's unreal.
Yeah, the Fed went down to almost zero.
That's gonna save you a buttload of a monthly fee.
Yeah.
What about the Tinderbox? You guys doing okay? I mean, they still staying open for now? Are they say anything in particular like it could be shut down?
Currently, with the Tinderbox, they're open currently. We had before today's speech, we had we basically made the move that we're going to have about 10 people or so, in the lounge, as we call it, basically in our room, up to 10 people at the most. And now it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, that the non-essential businesses will be shut down. So I don't know if you're allowed to, if they do like the full out quarantine and emergencies only and all that stuff, obviously we wouldn't be allowed to. But if you can have essential personnel there and people can like do carry out only with us, I mean, I don't know how we'd even get approval for that. Basically, it'd be between, basically Brian's call is if we wanted to do that and people are asking, it's like, we're here, you're not allowed in the shop. We can serve you from the door and that's it. And then basically people would have to, someone would have to come in and say, you guys can't do that. And then we would have to shut down. I don't know. I mean, like when I stopped by today because I had to ship a package, but I stopped by today and that was the mindset moving forward is that we will stay open until we cannot be there anymore.
Okay. Cool. Glad I got all my cigars yesterday.
Yeah. Fuck. I mean, if I run out, I'm going to have to go over to the shop and just, if I get pulled over or something like that, I'd be like, no, I have to go check on the, like, I was watching the cameras and I saw something move. I got to go check it out real quick. And
yeah.
The water, the humidity.
What's that? Yeah. Yeah. Well, no shit. That actually, you're not wrong. I didn't even think about that because we're not piped that way. So that's something that it's like, if you're going to keep the investment of the cigars, that's actually a good point that I might have to go in there and refill humidifiers every day. Thank you, Avi. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. What, you're going to have to tell Mark what to do, Mark and Aaron and those gangs.
They'll be fine. Fucking cigars and they'll be fine.
You know them, Kylie, huh?
I don't know anything you're talking about.
You know Mark and some of the guys.
Never
Mark-
heard of them.
Okay.
Never heard of it. All right.
Come on,
sure.
that's like cigar shop policy. Hey, did you see so and so? Never heard of them.
Never heard.
I'm disappointed no
Especially
one
if a woman
smoking
comes in
right
to
now.
ask.
So how did the servers do yesterday? Did they get pretty good taken care of, or people were
Yeah.
assholes? Okay.
No, I mean, I think overall, Liz was telling me that, overall, it definitely helped out. I think that it was typical. It was a smaller number of people. So, Liz said, one table got up and said that they're going to go watch a movie and then didn't tip her at all. But I mean, you're going to have that on a daily basis as a server, unfortunately. I don't think it had anything to do with the event or the non-event, excuse me.
Right, the non-event. Yeah, the non-event.
I
No, it
can't
was-
see who's watching on Facebook Live
Yeah.
because I'm on this app, whatever this thing is.
You can't
But-
see.
No, I can't see it.
Yeah.
But can I encourage, as a service industry veteran, for you to not order DoorDash and to actually go pick stuff up from restaurants and tip the bartenders and servers well, because they won't get to see anybody. And
No,
those
it's
tips
good.
go to the Dashers and to the
Right.
Uber Eats people. So
That's a good idea.
It is a good
Tip.
idea. I think, it's gotten to the point real quick, and it's going to possibly be against that, where if it's not essential, maybe they keep the carry out, or maybe they just go straight delivery only, and that would be sad. Luckily, the people that are working there, like kitchen staff, and if they have any management people, or if they bring in a server to help out, they would have to pay them an hourly that's not server wage. But you're absolutely right. Currently, in the states that you're allowed to do that, cities you're allowed to do that, I think that's definitely the right way to go. I think it's a good point.
I mean,
I have a nice list of local establishments that I'll be visiting this week. So
It's going to get to the point, though, that, there's a couple, like McClellan's Pub that Amy Schertzinger was on, and she started a GoFundMe page for her staff. And so people that are still working remotely, that are still getting paychecks, that do go up there. I've already seen some people donating. The problem is even people that aren't going to be getting a wage, or they have to file unemployment or whatever it is based on the state. It's like, as much as I want to help everyone, it's like everyone's money might, run out. Everyone. I mean, that's what I'm going to treat like toilet paper is my fucking, money at this point if I am not working, because the way that the state of Ohio, it's just indefinite. It's not like when Trump comes on, he says, we're going to, reassess this in 2 weeks. This is the period. And then we'll, address it if not sooner. But DeWine is basically just saying we're in schools. Schools are closed for 3 weeks, but now it's, the gyms, the health clubs. He just says they're closed.
what are you going to do, Steve?
Focus.
He's gonna focus. Yeah.
Time to start lifting those cases of water, buddy.
I have two 40-pound dumbbells, and I was looking around my garage on what I can hang from without breaking, and I don't know what I have. Liz is like, we can do go for runs, and we can you can do yoga with me. I'm like, yeah, I've got 40-pound dumbbells, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be so disproportionate. I won't come out. I'm gonna have to call off when this gets lifted and go lift for 2 weeks, just get back at it.
I mean, what I could do for you, Steve, is I'll just make my house
I gotta go. I'll see you guys.
All
I
right,
gotta roll.
Sean.
into
See you guys.
a gym just for one person at a time, and then you just go to my house and just start working out there.
So that's a far commute down in Texas, bud.
No, my Ohio house. I still got.
Oh, your Ohio house? Just do Rocky style. You just remodeled it, but that's going to be like the Rocky IV barn. I'm just going to tear that thing apart.
I'll just put a tire in the backyard, and you just go up and down the path. And then what I'll do is then I'll get some free weights there, put them in the basement. You can do stairs going up and down, get your cardio in, and then we'll just get some kegs, and you just do some keg toss from the bar.
Keg tosses. I'm pretty sure I could throw some things around in here. I don't know. Try to deadlift Liz's car. Throw on my back.
But on a serious note, though, if anybody in the community needs another place to chill, to get away, because people can get annoyed with their family, you're more welcome to reach out to me. I have a whole Nest system. I can let you in the house. There's a bed, there's TVs, there's everything. I mean, if I'm not in Ohio, I still want to be able to help out the best I can, honestly. And that's all I'm care about is just anybody that needs help. I'll be more than happy to help out.
I like that. I mean, I don't know if people will pick you up on that, but I think that what the fuck is that?
It's my hookah. I don't want my cigar.
That was like a fucking recorder.
No.
That's what they call them.
I got my.
Was that
whiskey
buzzing
recorder.
from earlier?
I don't like keep going on mute so I can literally, so you don't have to hear me when I.
Kyle, you're smoking in your car. Are you moving? Or are you in your?
No, I'm sitting. I'm sitting.
Yeah, he's
Alright.
doing video camera, smoking a cigar, driving down the highway.
Super safe. Super safe. What is that noise? Is that the hookah? No, he's on mute.
I can hear you.
I can hear that too.
I heard it too. It's not me.
Crackling sound.
I mean, when I come off of mute, can you hear anything? Because that's not.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
Make
you.
Kyle mute.
Kyle, mute for a second.
Ah, it's Kyle.
No, it's still
Sounds
there.
like a microphone.
Still there. Avi,
I'm here.
I mean, my wife's
I
walking
can hear better.
downstairs, but I doubt that's it.
no, I'm hearing like a static or whatever.
There's crackling here somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out and see if it stops.
Okay. Okay. I think it was Avi.
Yeah, it was
It was the tech guy.
Go figure.
Well, he's also in his shed out back, so it's not bad.
I
This
feel
is
like I can say that
Doomsday.
I'm grateful today because I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
Because like there's all these moms out here that like their children give them purpose. And like I'm thinking about their life the next 2 weeks. And I'm just so grateful that's not me.
No, you're right.
Like I'm
Yeah.
saying prayers for them and the Netflix employees to keep us all alive, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing is, you know, like obviously a lot of the tech stuff. I mean, if something goes down on that, like it will, that's when people will truly panic more than they already are. It's like I can't log into my fucking Disney Plus.
Because if you think about it, nobody's going to be at the Netflix offices, like Disney, Spectrum, even like Wi-Fi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
work for, you know that I'm already been working remotely.
yeah,
And we literally, since I do a lot of the reporting on the back end, literally our network is like 100% like can back up anything that's happening right now with all the streaming. And they're actually opening up the gateways, so you're not going to be like slowed down if you have like one of the lower end unlimited plans. They've already opened that up for like consumer and business. So
I think that any more is that would be considered from most state governments essential at this point. So anyone working on servers and stuff like that, as long as the company allows them to do that, or they give them the choice, they're going to go into that. I mean, everything's got those like 4 or 5 or more like backup servers like that are all remote around the country. But I mean, if something actually needs to be handled and it needs to be personally touched, I think that is an essential thing at this point. They look at, even though it's not a utility, they're going to look at cell service. They're going to look at internet service and all those networks. I think they're going to definitely make that a mandatory, essential thing, no matter where you're at. Unless it got really, really, really bad, which it doesn't sound like as far as, you know, you walk outside. It's not like that type of thing, you know.
it's not. I mean, even when they were discussing it, the government was like reaching out, like especially with the public sector and like the school districts. Like Verizon literally worked with like getting, I think, over 100,000 jetpack devices to be able to send out to schools, so they can actually be working from home. So like Verizon literally has been, and I know AT&T and T-Mobile, like the telecommunication like communities are actually working on making sure that all that's working together, because at the end, even like with all the towers, we all share each other's towers. It's just who has the most towers and who has the best, like who gets first like actual like dibs. But
Yeah.
they're opening that up so everybody can actually be able to do that. So there's a lot of like binding with all that. So
Say hi to Holly for us back there.
he went outside.
I know. We all see that. I don't mean. I'm dumbfounded by this whole thing. I think I'm not alone in that.
I mean, I I feel the same way, especially you know, as you're saying. I mean, Kylie, you're saying that like not having kids. My wife just, we know my wife's actually pregnant.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
due in September.
And that's being talked about a lot right now.
They don't have they have no statistics on it. But even then, it's like I'm not worried about it because Holly's healthy. I mean, she quit smoking since the pregnancy. She's been taking care of herself. Like, it's just literally, I think it's nice. The only thing I love about the coronavirus, to be completely honest, is how much time I'm actually spending with my friends and family, calling them, making sure they're okay. It reminds me of being back in high school, just picking up a phone like, "Are you okay?" or "Hey, what are you doing this evening?" Or it sounds crazy, but I like it.
What's that, Kylie?
I hate people and I hate being on the phone. I know that makes me in the wrong job. I get that. But it's it was my grandpa's birthday today, and he's how old is he? 72.
Yeah.
And I called my grandma today too. They're both in their 70s, so I wanted to call and see if they needed anything, and told them to not go out. My grandpa just went to the VA this morning, and I was like, "No, you're not supposed to go out." But he doesn't listen to me. What do I know?
Well, this morning I talked to my mom, and she was, you know, talking about like she's got a physical therapy for her shoulder tomorrow, and she was not sure if she was going to do it or not. Well, now she probably won't, based on like even day to day. You know, they're just shutting down. I almost wish that they would just be like, "All right, so let's just start this now. Like we're talking about a 2 to 3 week period. Fucking shut everything down." Because this whole like today we're shutting this down and tomorrow we're shutting this down and the next day it's like now we're gonna go on a 3 week lockdown. It's like fucking like cut the foreplay and just get after it. You know what I mean? Because we all know it's coming.
I think they're
like,
doing it so that it's not like a mass panic.
There already is.
I
know. I'm just saying as like say like all at once mass panic.
Well, no, that's my thing. Is like, you know, I'm not gonna say any names, but like, you know, it's like every time they get on the fucking news, it's like another wave of anxiety. It's like it's like everyone knows it's coming. It's like even like in the state of Ohio, it's like Governor DeWine is saying, you know, we're considering this. It's like you're gonna do it, and as soon as you start testing more, we all know that like it's gonna go from like 50 cases in Ohio. Like as soon as they get more tests, I hope they show true math and they try to talk about like the percentages as opposed to just saying, okay, in the last 3 days, it went from 50 to 2,000. However, we did this many more tests. So that lines up with what we thought. That's what I'm like. I mean, because they just show these flashes and it's like, all right, so we've doubled, we've done this. And it's like, there's both it's spreading and also there's less testing. And now as soon as they go to testing, you got to look at percentages. You have to do that because it's not about the headlines. Like the fucking San Francisco thing that a few people shared on Facebook, it's got like a fucking like Hollywood B movie, you know, banner to it. It's like the city of San Francisco skyline and then coronavirus behind it. And I'm like, is The Rock in it or like is he too big now? Like what the fuck's happening? That's my question.
Did you see on Facebook they did like a 24 hours after like Italy went on like complete lockdown and they showed the before and after pictures? Like I feel like if I was
It looks like a movie
or anything like that, I would love to be able to like go to these spots like where you can never get a shot at and just like enjoy like getting that peace and like pure scene of it, because it's kind of crazy to see stuff actually slow down and you don't get to see that like anymore. Everything's always so much emotion, but
yeah,
I don't know. I just
here's a comment for you. Let me show you this. This is we can do on this thing, which you probably have seen on other ones. Ryan Jones says the remake.
Ooh. Thank you, Ryan.
Ryan, I like the whole Full House or just the Tanner show or whatever it is right now with what's her name? DJ. Is it DJ?
DJ Tanner.
There you go. Isn't there a DJ on Roseanne also?
Yes.
Or
The boy.
Connor?
Yeah. I know too much.
So what do you guys think about the remake of Full House?
I watched all of it.
I only watched the first.
Wait, didn't they already remake it once?
Yeah. Fuller House.
No, Fuller House. Kylie's a big fan, has a
What
t-shirt
is this,
too.
the Fullest House or?
That would be good. Old school Full House, he says.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go, but I wanted to share something that I'm doing to pass time. I made the coronavirus apocalypse.
I don't know. Hang on. Let me try this part of this. Here, hang on. Before you show that, here you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Virus
So a
apocalypse.
list of things I'd like to do this week to
What do you
clean
got?
up. Work area. I want to go through my dress clothes. Goodwill is going to be so lit in like a month because everybody's going to go through all of their stuff.
True.
I'm going to go through my socks if they don't have matches.
You're gonna give out one sock.
No, those are going to yeah, I'm going to give out one sock
You say you
to
brought
the
up
neighborhood kids. No, you asshole.
There's two socks. They don't really match. But
But that's what I'm saying. Do I need two socks that don't match each other? No. It's time to get rid of stuff.
A lot of
in
people
all
actually
honesty, if you
selling
need
stuff on
socks, it doesn't matter if they match.
That's such a
Poshmark.
boy thing, though.
Poshmark is
No,
What? Poshmark.
I don't think you heard the
Poshmark
Poshmark thing.
literally, like,
What did he say?
So like a lot of people who are like needing to make money, they can go through their clothes and they can sell them like their secondhand clothes off of Poshmark and ship them out too. Like there's been
Yeah.
a lot of like people just doing that just to make sure they're preparing right.
Nobody wants my high school favorite local band T-shirts, though. I don't think they
you
might.
have no idea until you post it.
What are they called? Are they like ironic names, like a lot of
Oh
bands?
yeah, oh yeah.
It's
I'm not
vintage. You just gotta put vintage on it and then it'll sell.
retro,
The shitty Beatles.
not just a clever name.
Are they any good? They suck. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay,
Even like back to like Robert's
Bye.
point, like even
Kylie,
trying
bye.
to-
Thank you. Good seeing you.
Oh.
you too.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
but
Well,
like even back to Robert's point, like if you were able to travel the world right now and take pictures of all these empty streets that you couldn't while they're full, just it'd be crazy.
it would be crazy. I mean, it's kind of a depressing way to look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
Rich
It's
back.
depressing though. I
Huh?
mean, honestly, like I literally, there's been so many benefits of the corona. Like I said, it makes you take a step back and realize, like, to your point, like when you're focusing, when you're working out, even though you can't go to the gyms like you want to anymore. So you
Got one in today. I got one in today, which I'm happy about.
But like for me,
About
like
Today.
I've been literally going to the gym and going to the hot tub every single day since working from home. Like it's just been one of those things where I'm looking at it as a blessing that I'm able to take a step back from the chaos and actually
Yeah.
focus on myself and see like everything that's noise in the world and what really actually matters. Because this is a chance to see like the true colors of people and how they act. And I'm very thankful, like for like you, Steve, like you're one of my best friends, right? Like,
Yeah.
You keep your composure through it. Yeah, you might be annoyed, but there's a lot to say about people, how they act through certain times, and I'm very thankful to see how a lot of my core friends are acting because they're not letting them get the best of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem though. Sometimes, I sadly, and it's the positive attitude doesn't always help a lot of people.
But you also went through a lot because of the Smoke and 10 event. I mean, you had a lot to that's been on your mind that it's very hard to even stay positive, right? I mean, but you're still facing it with diversity and you're still doing the best for your followers, your friends. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, even though it's getting the best of you,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. We're gonna keep drinking whiskey. We're gonna keep drinking this stuff. I'm happy I was able to get it from Japan before.
There you go. So there you go. Cindy says, talk whiskey, enough of this virus. So that's my thing is Wednesday. I'm trying. This is why I'm doing this tonight, is because I wanted to try to get familiar with this. If we have to work remotely, I want to do some sort of a podcast that I don't know, man. I don't know how I can get whiskey or anyone else to the other people, but I mean, it's something that we can talk about. One thing, I mean, this is, what do you got, Bobby?
I got the Hibiki Centauri whiskey, the Master Select.
Nice.
It was literally made at the Centauri distillery in Japan. When I was in Japan in November, they would only release 12 bottles or 10 bottles a day.
Yeah.
And I literally had to get there like 6 in the morning to actually pick up a bottle and do the tour. And honestly, like, I mean, you can see how clear, Japanese whiskeys are very clear, very nice, very smooth.
Yeah.
It's an amazing drink. And like, if it was me, I know I was reading like Ohio Liquor and that, but I think you were able to like send bottles now across state lines without getting any trouble. So maybe we just need to read up on it and, overnight some testers to people. I have no problem doing that. I have a huge selection. So
That's good. I swung by the shop. It's Rich said he's drinking some scotch to wash my throat, which is good. And then you got Cindy saying the Bua Irish whiskey is great. And Cindy, I don't know, did you try Bua before our Bua episode, or was that based on our Bua episode? Because I've had a handful of people trying that recently. Since then, it's been very popular. And then you got Rich.
They said it was available everywhere, right? Or is it only in Ohio? I remember.
Right now it's only Ohio, and then I think maybe another state, but right now it's only in Ohio that I know of. And then you got Rich Back says, bought another bottle of Glenmorangie Original 10-year. I'm drinking my Old Faithful. Liz and I went to the grocery store last night, and so like she basically was like, "What do you need?" And I said, "Well, I might pick up some contact solution. I'm gonna go over here, which is on the way to the liquor store." And she went this way to pick up some other essentials, and then so I've got Old Faithful here, glad it's available. 4 Roses small batch. Yeah.
You should open up that Magnus.
If we're on lockdown, I might actually dip into at least partial bottles of what was on the shelf for the podcast, like reserve. It's just because if they shut it down, man, I don't know.
I mean,
2 weeks or so sober. I don't know.
I mean, you can still have guests come to your place. I mean, here's the thing: it's just making sure people are actually clean and taking care of themselves. Like,
that's the thing.
You're not able to have people come over, or are you just trying to abide by all the rules?
So as of now, I was planning on Wednesday night having the guests if they were comfortable. Spencer, who's been on before, I talked to him on the phone today, and he was willing to come over. But again, if they go on full lockdown, between now and then, in which it would not be out of the question, it could work out where that comes after the fact. But I don't. John Michael was scheduled this week. John Michael Moore, and that's why I'm trying this part out. Is if we get to that point, not only would this be useful to have a little higher production value, but also you can get some people when everything hopefully calms back down. We can have out of town guests, and we can do it in the garage. Have 2 or 3 people, and then have someone else chime in as a featured guest. But I'm honestly torn because I'm looking at it where I don't live alone, so I want to make sure that Liz is okay with it, and having people, if anything, I'd be like, all right, so just the guests, and then maybe a producer or whatever, not having like 10 people in the garage, like just for everyone's safety. And the unknown is the unknown's scary to a point. Like I said, I went to the gym today, and I think that wasn't really a popular choice, but I wasn't alone there. And I talked to one of the guys that runs the sales department, and he was very much, he was saying how they were handling it. And I'm not kidding, man. I saw more people cleaning, including the salespeople, including the management. It's like even the front desk person was wiping down the crash bars as you were leaving, all that stuff. There was definitely some effort going in there, more than usual. And then I was even wiping down more shit than I normally do. So I think, you can see that everyone's trying to do it, but when they come on and say it's out of their control now.
To go back to like the show and what you could do, right? And maybe suggesting, maybe we can post something in the community page, right? Or maybe you post something and say, hey, This week, next week, and this week, we're going to be reviewing X, Y, and Z. Talk about which bottles are available, and then making sure people actually get their hands on it. And then same with the cigars, right?
Yeah.
You could do like to help out with the tinkerbox because you can't have people in the stores, right? Do somewhere I'm going to do a 15% or 25% special if you buy, X, Y, and Z. But like, just do like maybe like a 5-pack the next 5 weeks.
And that's what we might have to do.
And then we
That's
can
what we might have to do.
because that would make sense. I mean, then that gives the guests an idea of what you're going to smoke that night, and we'll give them something to look forward to and
Yeah.
something to talk about. Because I think that'd be even more interactive. Because when they're actually, unless you know the taste of what you're drinking, like I'm very lucky to have the bottles I've had and been able to donate. It's
I can barely hear you, man.
I said I'm very lucky to have the bottles that I have and be able to donate. But like, if you can give a list of what you're going to go after, that'll make everybody be able to talk about it.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean, so Cindy, you say the live shows should have guests, not just people in the audience. That is the plan. I mean, I'm not trying to like open this up. This is tonight. It's truly just trying to test this out. Ryan's trying to FaceTime. I'm not going to do it. Let me get Ryan in here as well. But no, the idea tonight was, I know we've been on for almost an hour. I'm just simply trying this technology out, and I shared it to the community page. I want to make sure that we can do this. I can't get the guests on or whatever. I may not be able to. This is just an alternative that I'm looking at, basically. So, what do you guys think of all this? This type of feedback, this type of conversation?
No, I mean, I'm about it 100%. 100. Like I think it's going to make it 10 times better.
Yeah.
I think it's going to give you a whole new aspect to your show. Even with current podcasts right now, there's not a lot of casts doing it. I mean, yeah, you can see it on like sports shows or like on the news, but even then, not interactive. So if you could start getting into it now, I think it gives you a one-up. It gives you a chance to like pick a lucky audience member, say, hey, what's your points? What's your values on it? I mean, I think it's only going to bring more success to your show. And about like, it's like when you're being uncomfortable to be comfortable, right? You could literally just grow from it.
Yeah.
So I'm about it. I mean,
got some good stuff. Cindy says, if we know what you're smoking would ahead of time, then others could have the same and talk about it with you. I mean, at this point, it's, again, I'm not trying to be a doomsday guy, but it's like, at this point, it's, would you be able to get the cigar at this point? But, that's something that I want to, I'm not looking at just the next 2-3 weeks. I'm looking at this is that I do want to get more plan, more. I've got the guest plan going into April at this point, but it's this is just something that I like. This, depending on my availability, this would be like a beyond the BS type thing where we could have a community conversation and see what's going on, maybe a couple times a month or whatever. Rich says it works, but don't let the hype drive your behavior. Hang with your friends and have a smoke. I agree. I mean, I'm just looking at where we might be going. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Joe Clark, this is called StreamYard. So I have to run it through a browser, through a laptop and everything. So I got to get one more piece of equipment, which would be a webcam, and instead of doing it through the iPhone, and all the technology that Bobby and Kyle have seen and a couple other people have seen is, we got the iRig and everything else coming from the mixer board. Well, now we got to have something coming from a webcam into the mixer or into the computer, so that then it wouldn't be just my webcam that's built into the Mac, or I can't use my iPhone, stuff like that. I mean, I
have an extra iPad. I could send it your way and you can put it on.
Yeah, what?
I have an extra iPad.
It's not an iPad. I need an actual like webcam.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you could do the webcam with because that's what I'm using on to watch it right now is on my iPad.
Yeah. No, well, so I looked at there's another app that I could use my iPhone as the webcam, but then I looked at some of the reviews and they're saying that like sometimes it will crash or whatever. So we'll figure it out. I mean, even like we were talking earlier, like the webcams were a dime a dozen. Literally 2 weeks ago, up to when I was looking at it in the last probably 3-4 months. I went today and looked at it and said, like, I can't get it in 2-day delivery. But then I looked at it and it was like all of a sudden it's like not available. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Everyone's got a smartphone. Everyone's got a webcam built into their laptop. I don't know if everyone's going to podcast the next 2-3 weeks. I don't know. Maybe they are.
Yeah, I think to add to like this in the future, like this will be able to get you guests that aren't able to travel, and then ahead of time you can tell them what you're having or cigar, so that you can actually have them. Plus us being in the garage and we can talk to them.
Well, and that's the whole point. So then there's a little bit of difference there, where if we have someone out there now, there's a couple things: webcam, and then also anyone at the table here would have to have headphones plugged in so they could hear what the person on the other side's saying.
You can do a Bose setup. You can do a Bose like the Bose have a sound link where you can use the microphones, and then you can have everybody on the same one.
Yeah, again, sitting at the table, I don't want any feedback. So it's something to look into. This is something that at least we can work with. At the very least, or very most, I can have. Like I can literally have my laptop or something else basically pushed back and in the same realm, and then work off the way we've been doing it. So Rich says, let's live a little. It's really not that contagious. Less than 200,000 infected worldwide. I think the stats are gonna go up. We talked about that, and I don't make light of it. I think I share a little bit in some of these things, but at the same time, I don't want to be necessarily wrong, and I don't want anyone to be wrong. So this is just a matter of rolling with it. And the biggest side of it for me is that you got to play by the rules. This is it. I don't like the fact that. And Kylie says less than 200,000 infected recorded. That number is going to skyrocket. There's going to be another wave of anxiety and hysteria that goes up, where, like I said, it's all about percentages for me. Like, and I hope for a lot of people is that there's a lot about the percentages. So it's going to go up. The number's going to go up, but it's are the percentages going up? I hope they don't. The biggest message that I've heard about all this stuff, and again, no one's an expert here. This is just friendly conversation, and is that they estimate there's a lot of people that are infected. That's why we're doing this. Is that you don't want to keep spreading it so that people that are more susceptible to it, that then they get it, and then therefore then they have a bigger issue. And we're all second guessing it. I'm sniffing right now, but I'm also sitting. I got just the one heater going in the garage. It's cold out here, you know what I mean? And I do that plenty times, so it's everyone's scared of everything. That's where it comes down to it.
Is there a way you can partner with the bars and with other cigar shops to be able to help bring business to the community, to be able to send the cigars and bourbons out with them being closed?
Everyone's going to have to deal with what comes up in the next couple of weeks, in my opinion. So today or tomorrow, for example, I'm going into the shop and I could send out, today I sent out a package. The post office is open, right? So if I get to that point, people, I had someone ask me and they said, how much of your business is e-commerce? I was like, 0. I was like, we mail stuff out. And he's actually on a committee that's working with the city and the state and here in Ohio. And he's like, you may want to think about that. And that's the thing, is that's the scare, is that we look at it as we can't set, we're not going to be able to catalog our entire humidor. We're not going to be able to, we're not that type of a business. We are a small brick and mortar shop, even though we're a franchise. We're just not set up like that. So for us, you're looking at it, I can do phone orders. I can do the, serve you at the door type thing. But, we are absolutely a luxury item. We are absolutely non-essential, as much as cigar smokers are going to argue that we are essential. But it got to the point where the only reason that we're essential is that we have, we have the owner of the business, that this is his livelihood. This is my only income. So it's my livelihood. And then you have a bunch of part-timers that it's a big chunk of their livelihood. So, there is something there. There is definitely something there that, you don't want to be selfish. You don't want to deal with that. And then when it comes down to the greater good, I hope all these measures that they're doing are worthwhile. I mean, that's what we hope. And that's what we have to have faith in, that, you know, and when it comes down to it, you literally could argue it. You could be pissed off about it. You can do whatever you want, but when it comes down to it, it's out of your control.
I mean, that part of like being a luxury item and people come to the tinderbox and X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, I think you underestimate your community on people willing to help, like who are like Avi or even I, that know how to do databases or anything with helping with potentially getting stuff on e-commerce or getting you a better like inventory to help out. Like, people want to help in need, especially make sure that your community survives, your livelihood, for the actual Tinderbucks livelihood, for your brand BS. I mean, at the end of the day, you could build these awesome relationships in your community to help out. And I know I would help out in a heartbeat. You know that.
I'm looking at it as, and I appreciate that, I'm looking at it as, and I'm not going to talk political, and I don't care, what you think of it. But the one thing that I really liked about what Trump answered a question today when they were talking about, the recession, they were talking about everything else, and they were trying to like grill him on that. And he was like, yeah, what I'm doing for all this is that, or what we're doing for all this, not him, but like what we're doing for all this is trying to get past this. That's the best thing we can do for all of this. And that I that's the one thing I have faith in, is that when I look at all this stuff, it's I don't care if you agree with it, if it affects you personally, it's going to affect me. It affects my, my household here. My mother is over 70 years old. So, I mean, it's going to affect that. Like, all this shit is happening, but it's, I in a sense, I hope that they're right. I hope that they are doing these measures. I don't think I could get into conspiracies, and you hear the far left, you hear the far right, and everyone's got a fucking reason for it. It's like you can have people that they say that you have people that are saying that it's like, oh, that's weird, like the fucking Democratic Party doesn't know who they want to put in office. Bernie's running. I'm hearing this from Democrats. This is not my opinion. I'm relaying information that I've heard. And it's like, you have people saying that they don't, like, no one really like, a lot of people don't want to back Biden. And at the same time, the Sanders, like, staying in the race, they were shocked at that. So it's like, this all lines up with that. And it would be the worst thing if that ever came out, that this was something that got bigger for other reasons. And I don't think that's the case. I mean, I will be full disclosure, I don't think that's the case, but I think there's a stance there that I don't think anyone's trying to cause panic, but I think some of the speakers need to, and the politicians and the scientists and everything else. And I don't expect much out of scientists when it comes to public speaking. Honestly, I don't. And I think that they're doing their best, but I will say that, instead of saying the word panic, you say remain calm as best you can.
I mean, even like at Verizon, it's all about the verbiage, and like, it's like tweeting like an email, because no one's going to read like a 3-page email, right?
Yeah.
It's about the right message out within the right means to make sure you keep moving forward. And, the news channels, regardless of political like affiliation in that, it just turns into, is everybody wants to have a voice now, but not everybody's voice is like true. And that's where I think a lot of people are just taking advantage of it and being able to point whatever blame against anybody. And
we really don't know.
And the reality is, it's just stick to your foundations and just say, I'm not the expert. This is what's happening. This is what it is. Relay that information that can, somebody who can. Like, I mean, I made a stupid post the other day, like, when's Netflix going to have a documentary about this so people can actually know exactly what this is? Because it's funny.
It'll be 2 years.
But you know what I mean? But it's funny, like, when, making a murder, how many people could team up against that? It's just knowing those facts. That's
You're right.
One platform for that, to be able to get that out to everybody, because everybody has too much of an opinion.
Yeah. If anyone else wants to join the conversation with Bobby and I right now, I mean, I'm again, we don't have to do this all night. I just see some comments coming through. If anyone wants to join, I can try to invite you to be a part of this. This is more of a community thing tonight. and also testing the technology.
What happened to Ryan?
What's that?
What happened to Ryan?
Ryan Newman. I don't know. I sent him a link and he hasn't chimed in yet. But what I want, and I see, Rich and Kylie, kind of going back and forth. I think the biggest thing about all this stuff, and I've had it in my own household, that you think you know how to talk to people, especially people that you care about, and this is truly the type of situation that no one knows how to deal with this, and that's, I think, where we're at. You can be positive, you can be panicked, you can be all this stuff. It's just a matter of fact that it's like this is unprecedented when it comes down to what we're dealing with currently. Avi, welcome back.
Hopefully it's not buzzing.
No, you're clear.
All right.
You're clear.
It was Kyle's fault. It was Kyle's car.
I just want to say on the comment side, I'm watching this go through, and I don't want anyone to. The biggest thing is don't take offense to anything anyone's saying. It's okay to disagree. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest part of it is that I've learned in the last several days, especially, is that we here you go. We actually we are we're very, very hypersensitive more than usual right now, and that's because you're affecting people's livelihood. You're affecting not only the livelihood of like the fact that you want to make sure everyone's okay, but at the same time, you're looking at the fact that now people are out of work, and that if it's for the greater good, I think that's great. I really do. You're going off of, the thing that I reminded someone today of the science part of it. You rely on science. And the biggest thing that I'm listening to these people from a state and a federal level is that they are openly admitting that they're going off of the current trends, but they certainly do not know exactly what we're dealing with. And I think that's where it's important that it's, again, I don't really care for, martial law and what it could lead to, but at the same time, this is not a time for like a revolution or anything like that. It's you fucking roll with it, and we all pick each other up. I mean, that's the only thing you can do. But I don't want to say, me personally, I don't want to see a precedent set that next year we run through this again, and the following year we run through this again. It's you look at things that have happened in the past, and maybe people didn't handle it the right way, but there's been other pandemics that I think that, swine flu. Swine flu.
If you go back in there, but the thing that people are not doing when they're actually talking about like the other pandemics is they're not putting what our actual numbers are compared to what those numbers were back then. So it turns into like, yeah, there's these other pandemics, but the reality is history keeps repeating itself. In some way or form, we got to learn from it one way or the other.
No, you're right.
And that's where I'm more disappointed about with any government or anything of that nature is this is not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. What's your plan?
And that's the thing is I look at it as that, I don't have true faith in 100% in the government and they're doing everything right. But I think that, I have to force myself sometimes that they're doing the best they can. Anyone that's, listening to this or anyone that's everyone's had this conversation. Everyone's had this conversation and everyone's got an opinion of it. But I would not want to be in the situation that the people that are making the calls right now are making right now. Ryan, welcome.
Thanks, guys.
You don't have a phone stand? You just keep going back and forth?
No, I don't.
Are you on a cruise ship?
I'm currently in the comfort of my own home. And
I swear to God, if you take your pants off in your bedroom, I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to ban you.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt the conversation, but I'm just curious what everyone's smoking right now. What do you guys got going on?
I got a BS Gold right now.
Fantastic.
I got.
Bobby, what about you?
I got my
nice hookah. Four Roses. Which one is that?
Small batch.
Nice. Bobby,
I got
your hookah.
My hookah.
The homeless dude, man.
Playing the recorder.
Aging Room Quattro.
What are you smoking there, Bobby?
Aging Room Quattro.
Nice.
Wait, which one though? The Nicaragua.
The Nicaragua, yeah, the one in the pack yesterday.
Yeah.
I had the today. I had what did I smoke today? I smoked the Aroa Corojo 654, which is one of my favorites of all time. And then I had the what else? The Avo, the Eastern Limited, which was really good.
Oh yeah.
Really? Have you had this?
You guys got some of those Avos. We looked at them. It's just the bad timing for us with the Smoking 10 event orders. You know, honestly, it was like I saw you were smoking the what was it, the one like that like a clear top.
Yeah, that was actually really, really good. It's a little pricey, and I don't know if it's worth the price tag, but the construction was phenomenal. But I tell you what, flavor wise, I would much rather go with the Eastern Regional because it was probably $7 or $8 cheaper, and it was a killer cigar.
Well, and I wanted to try the Western.
You want to try it, or you have?
Don't you got the Eastern over there?
Yeah. You want me to bring you one?
Well, no. I was just trying to think back when they first came out, and it was like I thought that it was like a we were considered the Western. They might have opened it up that they didn't sell
I
all.
don't know. I don't know. When Dan Burris asked if I wanted any, he offered me the Eastern, and he said the Eastern was actually a better seller. So I was like, just give me the East.
Sucker born every minute, man. Salesperson says better seller. You just buy a bunch of boxes.
I am loving them.
Avi, what do you think of the Nicaragua? Well, let's talk cigars for a little bit.
Yeah, why not?
Well, Avi likes Avos. That's a first. Avi likes Avos a lot. I like in particular the
lounge
edition. The lounge edition is great. That's from 2013. The 88 is phenomenal. I don't know if anybody smoked those ones from 2013.
Right.
I have a lot of Avos. The Nicaragua, it's good. It has good flavor. I wouldn't say it's like the most amazing cigar I ever smoked. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I do like, to be honest, it will surprise a lot of people, the ALR, the second edition from Rocky Patel.
That's killer.
Yeah, I like that cigar.
I think it's a phenomenal flavors. Steve, I know you don't smell any or taste nutty flavors, but on the retro, the nutty flavors are phenomenal to me. The construction is great. Rocky has too many cigars, in my opinion, but he hit a home run with that one.
Nah, I actually really like the ALR. That the second edition, it was just, being allergic and staying away from nuts the most of my life. I think I know what it is.
Yeah, right.
But no, Bobby's over here showing a bunch of cigars.
What is that,
Light
Bob?
one
I
up,
can't
man.
tell. Use your words. Is it the Nish Patel Bold? Nice.
Nish Patel Bold.
I'm trying to figure out which one to smoke. What do you recommend?
You're not smoking in the house. I know Holly won't let you.
Hell no.
I am smoking right now, the hookah.
A hookah? That's not a cigar, though.
What is it? Fruity Pebbles or Lucky Charms that you're putting in that hookah? What children's cereal is in there?
And the BS Gold, and I mixed them up, and so I'm smoking a cigar through the hookah right now.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Is that? I'm sorry, you're breaking up. Is it Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yes, my favorite. That's all that was available in the stores when I went to go shopping.
Well, there you go. Thank God there's no hookah backup.
Oh man.
Who do we got on? Tyler Jones is watching. Willard's watching.
Right now, I think to piggyback on Bobby's comment, like website and stuff, I think you're right. It's like too complicated to build the infrastructure quickly with the unknown, in a couple weeks, knowing who knows, maybe in 3 weeks or a month and a half from now, we'll be back to routine. However, there's a lot of those cigar packs, like those monthly cigar clubs. I think you have, I have probably 2,000 cigars at home here, but
how many?
It's to support the local guys.
Say 2,000.
Probably.
You're gonna make it, man. You're gonna make it.
I'm gonna make it with the cigars, but again, supporting. I have a business, and people hopefully will support me, and the same with you guys. If you guys can put a 5-pack, hey, here's every 2 weeks a 5-pack for just like yesterday. What is it like? Instead of $58 a Aura, I don't know, set it for like $38 if you guys can do some samplers.
Yeah.
Since people don't have to flush the toilet in your place and minimize your expenses, I'm sure people will follow, you know, even if they have plenty of cigars at home, just to support. Your rent is insane. I'm sure both of you.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is when it gets out of your control. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. I mean, it's
But I don't think it's out of your control.
And that's great. I mean, again, we're not set up for e-commerce at a shop
No
like
e-commerce.
ours. Ryan, you know, with his shop, there's no e-commerce. So, you know, if it gets to that point where you're at a full blown lockdown, then now you're dealing with the fact that you've got it where, you know, even if I fucking walk to work, you know, so there's no car out back, and I keep the lights off, and I try to use the postal service. You just don't know. When we don't know. And if you're doing that stuff now, you know, if you want to be truly, you know, supportive of what we're trying to prevent, then all of a sudden you're an asshole for going out and, you know, exposing yourself in case, you know, I am. I mean, I'm a little like normally stuffed up like this, especially out in the garage when it's a little colder out.
Right.
You know, it's even if I don't show the symptoms, it's you know, today I was promoting the fact that it's, you know, at the very least, it's take your vitamins, do the normal things. Everyone's talking about washing your hands, like eat healthy, sleep, you know, do the things that everyone doesn't
Absolutely.
do already. What?
Absolutely. 100%.
absolutely.
Like, it's funny because when I went to the grocery store, the vitamin section was stocked full still, which
Yeah.
blew my mind. Blew
Well,
my mind.
We were watching the goddamn news tonight, and they're sitting there saying, you know, it's like, well, here's a home workout. And I looked over at Liz, and I'm like, people aren't fucking working out as it is. Like, this is your, like, now it's a, you know, new year, new me in March, like, because of this going on. Like, I'm gonna fucking do jumping jacks in my house. Like, no, that's bullshit. Like, they're not doing it already. They're not. They're like, hey, you can cook healthy at home. They're also not eating healthy.
But I'm telling you that I'm not kidding you, this pandemic has made me like actually eat healthy. It's actually made me go down to my fitness thing for my complex and made me go swimming. It's made me be able to go to the hot tub. I'm like, I wasn't taking care of myself. I really wasn't. And I was giving my excuse because, well, I have to work all the time. I have to do X, Y, and Z. And literally, I don't have any excuses. I don't have any.
Well, but here's the thing, Bob. I mean, I think that's fantastic. I think that's great. But is this something that's going to be a long-term life change for you, or is it something that in the midst of the moment, because, you know, I don't want to call it fear of the unknown with this pandemic, but is it a drastic life change for you, or is it like where you've just been, you know,
I have a different
had your epiphany, or
no, I have a different factor involved because I'm about to have a son.
Absolutely.
So it's the pandemic did cause it, but the fact that I'm going to be raising a kid, you know, I want to be healthy for this kid. I want to be able to go.
Of course.
So it's like.
So it's related and unrelated, really.
It's related and unrelated. It so happened that everything aligned the way that I needed it to give me that push. Because you gotta fail sometimes and like get kicked to your ass. Be like, what am I doing? And then, oh, I'm gonna watch this game. I'm gonna watch, you know, LA play the Clippers. You know, I don't have that. I don't have those distractions. So it's literally like.
There is one positive way to look at this is that, you know, you don't have, like, if you can't go to work, you can actually take care of yourself, which sadly is true. But at the same time, that's, well, fuck, if that's the lesson you learn from all this stuff, is that you actually have to slow down like everyone wants to and take care of yourself, as opposed to letting yourself go to shit over this, like everyday life. I guess that's a positive. I'm not saying that's what you're directly saying, Bobby, but it's like, that's what I'm hearing, is that everyone gets so tied down with life. It's like, then they realize it, you know what I mean? Like, I saw the meme where it was like, and it was whatever. It's like literally some like figure sitting there like this, and it's like, I sit on my ass every day. Now the government's telling me that I have to do that. Fuck, I'm not in. Like, you know, I'm gonna go out and do stuff. You're like, I don't know what to say to you. Like, there is a mentality there that's terrible.
I think I'm going to be more shocked of like people who are just like no offense to like bartenders or waitresses or anything like that. They do great jobs no matter what. But like people who are just working just to get the paycheck and actually being able to figure out what actually makes them happy.
Yeah, well, that happens all day long, and
But
even
no,
if
I mean,
it's making you happy, they're gonna
you can't
like
work those industries. I'm saying like, it's
Top-
going to be a rude awakening for people who are not happy doing what they do. That they're going to have to find something for themselves. I'm not saying like.
Well, no one's hiring right now, by the way. That's the other thing. Unemployment's gonna fucking skyrocket real quick.
Verizon's hiring. I mean, literally, there's a lot of stuff hiring that you'd be surprised. Costco's hiring temporary works. You got Amazon
Kroger
hiring temporary works. I mean, you have all these other sources of avenue and these things that people don't look at that literally, like, not saying that like they need to jump one ship to go to another, right? Because ultimately you need to be happy, but ultimately you have to take care of yourself, right? And pay the bills. I'm just saying that I think there's going to be benefit for people figuring stuff out to make themselves better because they never had to.
All right, I'll agree with that. You know, and Tyler, welcome. Sorry, we haven't really talked to you. I know looks like you're at a cigar lounge right now.
What's up, fellas?
But I mean, I think it is something where it's sad that's this pandemic or what, you know, which pandemic doesn't mean what a lot of people don't think that thinks that it means, but it's sad that we're getting in a situation that this is when you have realization. It's literally, you know, I've been fired from a job before that I, you know, had gotten to the point where I was at the end of my road with it, but I kept doing it for a paycheck. And that, you know, when it actually, the rug gets pulled out underneath you, that's when you make a choice that you got to make yourself happy. This should not be the case. I mean, I know hopefully people will walk out of this thing that they are at least temporarily, for starts, because a lot of times it doesn't last, but people will look at it where they needed to make a change in their life. What's important?
Well, how about you like this? Instead of calling it a pandemic, how about you call it unconscious bias?
Unconscious what? I couldn't hear you. Bias? Yeah. Ryan, are you open going forward?
In what regard? Oh,
Hey,
I'm
you're
sorry.
shop.
As our shop. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, as a person, like, are you open as a person going forward? Like,
yes,
you know,
I'm
like, you want to talk about your feelings like this. You've got a platform, right?
Yeah. So,
what are you feeling right now?
So currently, this is how it stands. It's, you know, we're open for walk-in and taking home, but the lounge part is closed. The bar is closed.
Okay.
The kitchen is closed. And like today, I had a couple locker members, you know, sitting in there, and great guys. And I was joking with them. I said, you know, if someone comes by the check, because I heard the health department was doing stops at like they did a stop at Midnight Hookah of all places, and
Really?
they were warning people that if there are customers in the lounge, they will fine the business $250 per person, and not only will they fine the business, but they will fine the individuals that are there $250 per person. So,
Well, and that's interesting because what is that based off of? Because at this point, the state of Ohio has not come down on that. Now you are a restaurant and bar, so that makes sense. So for us at the Tinderbox at Easton, it's like we're kind of in a gray area where it's, you know, we are a retail store that, you know, we can limit, and we originally said 12 people, but now after what the federal government has said, where they recommend 10 or less,
yes.
like currently tomorrow until the next announcement, we can be open tomorrow, and we can have, you know, up to 10 people in the store. From my understanding, now we just have to basically play by the rules, and you know, a lot of people thought that, Tyler, you were there, and Bobby, I think you were the only one that wasn't there based on proximity. But I mean, we had some people not necessarily at the event, and I didn't get a whole lot of feedback, but I had people in my life, not just one, but several people that were just like, they were uncertain about the fact that we were doing that, and it was looked at as possibly the wrong move or insensitive to the situation. And I looked at it where it was like, you know, we're rolling through this with everyone else. you know, and we
Absolutely.
didn't,
And to address that, I think that whoever wants to say that it was insensitive, I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, their own feelings. But I think
don't cover your
that-
mic with you if you're holding your phone. Don't cover your mic.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion and their, based on that subject. But I think that was probably one of the greatest 10 events. Just
Afternoon, guys. Talk to you.
just because.
Bye, Avi. Thank you very much. We'll
See ya,
talk
Avi.
soon.
It sounds great. It sounds great, though.
Thanks,
I
brother.
think up to 4 people, I think it sounds pretty smooth and clear. So I think I can roll with that if you need to.
5 or more, it's bad.
It's starting to get less staticky, I think.
Okay. On my end, it's not, so I appreciate the feedback.
But it sounds great. I think you can roll with it if you need to.
Good deal, man.
All right, mate, guys. Have a good
Thanks,
time.
brother.
Good talking
Be
to you.
safe.
See ya, Avi.
See ya, man.
Stay safe, buddy. So anyway, I think it was one of the greatest 10 events.
It wasn't an
that you
event.
guys ever, okay, quote unquote event, because everybody that was there knowing what's going on. You know what I mean? They were there to support their local shop and to see the amount of people that came out to support what was really supposed to go on. It was just a big community coming together just for, I mean, it was really one last hurrah until we're able to get, over this hump.
Yeah. The timing of it all was interesting because, obviously the timing right before doing the actual weekend, and then obviously like doing this get together on Sunday where it was like Fido's open, we're open, and then literally by the end of the day, Fido was no longer open.
Yeah.
It was that's what I'll say. It was nice. It was nice to see that, people got together, and then, you had a mixed batch of people, whereas like some people were shaking hands, some people were, giving, fist pumps, and, some people were doing the elbow thing and all that stuff. And I saw a meme today that was like, it was completely fake statistics. I'm not saying these are statistics, but it was like, this is like 100%. And then it was like, what was it? Like, this is less percent. And then it was like, this is like 10%. And then it was like, this is 100%. You don't contact that person for greeting. And I was like, you know what? Something might catch on. You're like,
That's right.
What's up, Tyler? Go fuck yourself. We'll get back to the roots. You know what I mean?
I'm wondering, is anybody like, I know with like my cousin, they're getting married in April. Like, has anybody's been dealing with how that's going to be? If anybody else is in their lives? Because like I'm not against like going to a wedding, but it's like you just don't know what's going to happen.
I mean,
They're
there's
not
a
gonna
lot
pull
of things.
I don't think.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that people are uncertain about. I mean, hell, Erica planned a vacation for April. I don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? Because God forbid
not
this
going.
epidemic this
You're not
pandemic is still going on, and she is able to fly out, but God forbid maybe she contracts this virus while she's there, and then she's stuck in quarantine, and I can't get to her. I mean, no one really knows how this is going to play out until we as a nation, beat it essentially, or find a cure.
Well, I think this is important what we're doing tonight. Actually, I actually really like this open conversation. I kind of want to, in this time, like I want to try to do a podcast, but this is something that I think we should do for the community page. Honestly, is that you have to have these conversations so people can talk through it. But I don't know. I mean, it's like
we are having a podcast right now. I mean, it's an unofficial podcast. I mean,
why? Yeah.
A lot of
So I can actually with this platform, I can, when I end the podcast, this is one of those things where, again, I mean, if I start doing Wednesday night, it's something that I'm going to have to add into when we talk about sponsors and everything else. And this is not the time necessarily to come out of my own pocket, but this is an option that we can do. And but it's not free, right? So this is something that I enjoy and I get a lot from, but it's something where when this is something that people need more than, like, I think now than ever. Like Tyler, you're hanging out on the feed and you haven't really said a whole lot. And I mean, you've been on the podcast and you hung out on Sunday. I mean, I know you can talk, but it's no one really knows. And Tyler, I know you can probably say a lot of things right now, but no one really knows what to say with all this stuff going on. And that's why I really like this type of platform. This is why I signed up for all this today, and I'm looking at the platform going forward, as far as opening up options. I was kicking it around, and then when all this came up, and I host anywhere between 4 to probably a dozen people in my house every week. Not everyone does that.
No.
Not everyone does that.
Right.
So when it comes down to, the fact that, I have to be respectful of not only my own health, but also, Liz living here is, in a matter of a night where you have up to like 12, 15 people walking in the house to take a piss or do whatever, you know what I mean? It's now we think about it more than ever. Tyler, what are you doing? You're down in Dayton
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah. I'm actually working the shop right now. We got a couple guys here hanging out.
You look super busy.
Nah, it's pretty chill right now. We were busy earlier today. One guy actually came in, bought like 65 cigars. And he's like, "Yep, I'm prepared." I'm like, "Oh, good for you, bro." It was busy. It was a good day though. I mean, it's actually probably the busiest Monday I've actually seen we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the scare or whatever, but it was hot today. And as far as I know, that we're going to be open as long as we can. Because, I mean, really, anything by law, is it 50 by law right now? Or, like, officially? Like, you can have up to 50 people or whatever?
50 right now, and they're actually saying it's going to be 10 by Wednesday.
Well, Trump said today that he recommended no more than 10.
So, like, that's a recommendation. So, technically, I don't think you really can get busted if you have over 10 right now.
Yeah.
But, so, I mean, as far as we know, we canceled our event with CLE on Thursday. We did do that. But other than that, we're pretty much rocking and rolling and doing whatever. See you, Ronnie.
We have Stogie Smoke Shop.
And I honestly think it's because, it not only from a, stocking up standpoint, but I think people want to be able to, while they're able to get out of the house, today goes on, people are quarantined to their house for 24 hours. So you want to be able to get out and see their local brick and mortar. I mean, it's like the barber shop, right? They want to be able to just get out and see everyone while they can until God knows when this is over.
Right. I mean, San Francisco just announced that stuff today about their under 24-hour quarantine for the next 3 weeks.
Yep.
3 weeks.
I mean, that's just crazy to me. I mean, right there, I can understand it, but to me, that's almost going against like your constitutional rights at some point, right?
That's called law.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. It's martial law. Yeah, exactly. It's we are full blown.
Can you invite Nate?
What's that?
Can you invite Nate to give him a link?
I'm doing it right now.
Oh, nice.
Go on, Tyler.
I mean, here's the thing too about like they can do that. There is a law for the gatherings, and that's across like each of the states, and that's what's happening just because of the events of however way you want to look at it. So at the end of the day, it's hard to tell what's going to happen. I mean, I have a lot of friends that literally, especially working at Verizon, the business group, like they're saying like almost like 80% positive by Wednesday there will be a nation shutdown of like domestic traveling and all that stuff. I mean, that's where that's where it's going.
But absolutely.
Yeah, I heard something about like interstate travel will be like forbidden. I heard something about that. I think that might have been yesterday. I heard something like that, but until it happens, I guess you just don't know.
The defense.
Have they shut down the flights yet?
They haven't shut down the flights, but they stopped like for like each state. Like if you have your like defense, like militia or whatever it is for each of the military groups, they're not sending them anywhere. They're all staying within the states now, and that was announced today too.
No, like I said, I'm going to go back to what I've said before. I in a sense, I hope they're right and they're being, and I don't think there's any ill will. I really don't. I don't think there's any conspiracies. I mean, you can spin it any way you want, but I mean that's the full blown martial law is that there will be fucking tanks in the streets and again, I'm not going to be that extremist that says that, but at the same time, it's they talk about closing down borders to the state. You talk about closing down anything else. It's absolutely. I mean, the flights. I mean, like so. We had a good friend and customer, Brad Grimsley, that flew up from Atlanta for this event that was originally planned for this weekend. Flying up, he said the airports were slow, but his flight was absolutely full. Going back, he sent us pictures of the Columbus airport, and it was a ghost town, absolute ghost town. And he said I think there were 7 people on a flight from Columbus to New York. 7. Now, I know Brad was probably ordering drinks like he normally does, so he's fine. But when it comes down to it, it's making the best of a situation. Here, you're going to see Nate's forehead here. Oh, no, you got it better.
Nice.
You see what?
What's up, fellas?
What up, Nate?
I see the comments, Bobby. What are you saying?
Well, I mean,
Sorry.
Rich's comment, he's saying they can't stop truckers and interstate travel. They're not, they literally are not going to be stopping trucking or any of those things because they need to be able to get goods and deliveries to different states, especially what's going on.
Speak up a little bit.
They're not going to be stopping that international interstate traveling for truckers because they need to be able to get goods to different states.
Yeah.
So it's literally based off of the needs of where you're going to be able to get there. They're not going to stop it if you have a family member that you need to get to. They can't. They're just saying they're not encouraging it.
No, you're right. I mean, but again, we're not there yet, but it's sadly, I am getting to that point where normally I'm not, but it's getting there. They're talking already. They're already, in a sense, in my opinion, prefacing this. They're doing that disclaimer now where, the government is addressing the fact that there will be an airline bailout. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. I mean, that's it. I mean,
They cost trillions of dollars. Boeing's literally, they all cut down their things. I mean, it's happening. It's
the airlines are doing that too.
They have to. And the issue is because we lost trillions of dollars of St. Patty's Day. It's on a larger scale. I mean, NBA, and nothing's traveling.
No.
Not any revenue.
No, you're right. People are losing money, and again, I will be the person that says that a lot of times. And there's the other side of me where it's, this is you got to at some point roll with it. You be mad about anything you want, but you got to roll with it. You got to get to that point, in my opinion, where it's you can disagree. You can disagree just like every other day of the week, every other day of the month, every other day of the year. You're going to disagree with what a politician says. You're going to disagree with what decision is made. But in the current state we're in is this is what we're dealing with. Piss and moan all you want. Normally, if you piss and moan all you want like a child, you're going to go and pout in your room. Well, that's exactly what they want you to do right now.
Absolutely.
Did you actually read about how we're supposed to be shaving our beard to actually stop the spread of coronavirus?
Avi said that on the feed. Is that where you're getting that?
Well, I'm just looking at the 4 squares right now, and it's all I could think of is that stupid thing of 1 out of 4.
Is it just the beard, or do we have to shit? I mean, I'm good. I'm good here.
I can't. I'm not doing it up top, man.
You might have to, Ryan. You might have to. Good news is it's going to grow back for you. It's not going to grow back for all of us.
Do you want to address some of the people there? Beef and the
Now, is it just neck up, or are we dealing with more? Where do we go here?
Hey, man, I'll get slippery smooth if need be.
I saw a couple ads on my Instagram feed for manscaping. Those
absolutely.
You know what I'm talking about? The manscaper.
Brilliant.
We're all gonna shave like we're professional swimmers.
That's right, man. Exactly. Slippery smooth.
Head to toe, man.
I need to cut off a second of my swim lap time, so I got it.
Can't go
there's a
anywhere.
CDC thing that said you should shave your beard. Like if you have a beard, shave your beard because of all this. Yeah.
You talking to Todd? Todd should do that anyway.
Yeah, I am talking to Todd and our neighbor from Chipotle.
Oh, so Cindy here, I'll put it up on the screen now that I can do this. Cindy says, not shave all the way. It's trimmed thin, so you just got to get a little high and tight. You know what I mean? Like just
yeah, that's a little fade going on. I might do that.
A purposely 5 o'clock shadow.
But I mean, here's the thing: not all of us are barbers.
No,
It doesn't mean you can't use a razor though.
If you want to get that nice trim, I mean, you see a barber person like what, twice a week, Ryan?
Yeah, but thankfully, I'll tell you what, I got a new guy now. He's actually Ezekiel Elliott's personal barber.
all right.
While he's not traveling, since he's not traveling due to this whole virus scare, he's actually going to be coming into the lounge and giving me a little high and tight. So that way I'll be good to go.
Ryan says something that maybe not the right time right now, but he says grade before shade. Normally I feel the same way, but you know, I don't think my girlfriend has seen me without a beard. So
I don't think any of us have seen you without a beard.
few people in my life have.
I don't think I ever have.
I have. It's kind of weird.
It's just my face.
Your face isn't weird. It's just
Damn it, Todd. Shut up.
Nate, what are you smoking tonight?
I'm smoking a La Roma de Cuba. Alex came in again today, and he actually gave me a Symmetry and an EE.
Love that EE, man.
That EE is nice.
Great cigar.
Is that what you're smoking, or which one are you smoking?
Right now, it's the La Roma that we were giving out yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. He showed up and he had 3 tickets, so he grabbed 3 bags, and he took one of his bags. He's like, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. Here you go.
Yeah.
Come on.
You get to the 10 event too, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, no, I don't want to give, can I give my ticket to someone else? And you're like, come on.
I'm loving Scott and Greg's comments right now.
Scotty Too Hottie over here. He's a friend of mine. I will shoot someone if someone touches my beard. That's Scotty. I mean, come on, man. You're a handsome dude. You'll be fine. I'm gonna try this real quick while we're dealing with technology. I don't like that. I can't pick one of you guys over the other. I don't like that at all.
I mean, I actually like it. I mean, you have the best.
I like the Foursquare thing.
You're good.
Foursquare thing, Brady Bunch, people are calling it.
Yeah,
I said Hollywood Squares earlier.
Hollywood Squares. You know, the best part about Hollywood Squares back in the day was when they were trying to, like, the top car was an RX-7. You know, it's fantastic. Everyone wanted that RX-7.
Oh, yeah.
John Belly asks, how's the BS tonight? I'm the only one smoking the BS, and I will say I've smoked BS Silver today while I was driving around doing some errands, and smoking a BS Gold right now, and smoking fantastic.
So,
Noah and John,
so
I think
now that
he
we've
meant
got
the
some
other BS.
expert opinions here. Sorry, go ahead, Nate.
Noah John Belly, I think he meant the other BS, not the cigar.
No, John Belly's I'm pretty sure he's gonna order some BS Gold and Silver so he can post it on all his pages. I mean, he's definitely he shares a lot of stuff he's posting. He loves some of the boutique stuff, and so we got to get him some of that. We're gonna say, Ryan.
He'll take a
So
selfie.
I was just curious to see, now that we have everybody here that has smoked it, and that has not only smoked the original BS but the new BS, what are everyone's thoughts in comparison to the old blend to now?
Yeah.
I'd have to smoke. I still have about 10 of the original ones. I'd have to smoke them back to back to see how they are.
We have a new.
Can I get some of the old ones off you?
I haven't gotten the new one yet, so
I'll tell you what, I really liked the new blend.
Yeah.
I can see the Placencia where they were trying to go with it to replicate the old blend. I can see what they were trying to do.
Right.
I think as far as body, I think it's not as strong personally. I don't think it's as strong as the old blend, but as far as flavor, I think there's still an equal amount of balance and an equal amount of flavor, because from the old one, I actually had one I think last week, and it aged really well. and there was just that's all it is. It's just pure flavor and pure balance, and
So much flavor.
Get that with
So much flavor.
Yeah, I can
So
get
much.
that with the new one, but not as much strength in comparison to the old, in my opinion.
Well, I think the biggest thing with the gold, like the BS Gold, is that we're hoping for more consistency because it was, as you know, Ryan and Nate and Robbie, you had some, but like especially Ryan over the years before Nate, you joined us. It was like it was shipment to shipment. That it was construction, it was flavor, it was appearance. It was just not consistent by any means.
No,
Rob
we got a
Wilson
good
never-
batch. They were great.
I mean, I think I like when you first got like I think it was the third shipment of your BS Gold.
Yeah.
The original, I think right around that time frame is what I liked about it. Like the first
Yeah.
two shipments, I think the first one was too spicy, if I remember.
The original was not. It just was
Or
up
what-
and down, up and down.
That's right. It was something. It was not consistent at all, and then it went into something else.
It was
But-
just up and down.
Rob, what
Rob
are you,
Wilson.
smiling at?
You're hammering it up down there.
I was turning some lights on so you guys could see my beautiful smile.
I thought you were out on your patio by a fire trying to, create a mood out there.
No, I'm just sitting here in the living room wondering what's going on.
What's up, Rob?
What's going on, gentlemen?
We're trying out the new technology that I'm looking at for 2020, where we're at right now. What we might have to do.
The rule is if you don't have a beard, you can't join the cast.
That must be what it is. Is anybody? Because the thing that I'm trying to figure out. Apparently, the camera, the way it kind of reverses. I think the angle,
It's
trying to find the
backwards.
right
It's
angle.
here.
Well, how about you just
Yeah.
take your camera still, and then we can work from there.
No selfie.
I can see. No, I mean, show the shirt real
Check
quick.
yourself
Don't take it off, but show your shirt real quick. Like I think we can read it. No,
Right
you can read it. You can read it.
yourself.
Yeah, it's the right way.
Is it?
Maybe on your side it's not. This is again something we're trying out. I figured on Monday night we're getting through all this stuff. We might as well start it now. Next thing you know, we're almost 2 hours into it.
Yeah, that's what I see here. That's what I
Awesome.
see. Yeah.
Do it, man.
Yeah, I mean, just being here with you guys, even on camera, not in the same room. I need to light up a cigar.
You live there. I
Live in our
mean, it's
hearts.
your house.
That is a valid fucking point. And the fact that there is nobody here to tell me no at 43 years old, I think I'm gonna do that.
You should do that.
You will
Man,
Ryan's in bed right now. And
You know, I was waiting to get there to actually ask that because that's what that's what it looked like, but I
so
wasn't
cozy,
sure.
man. This is great.
I think
Ryan's not allowed by the ferret or the dog or the cat or Erica.
That's hilarious.
The dog's at the door right now. Who knows where the hell the ferret is? She's somewhere around here, and Erica's out making dinner.
There you go. All right.
I think Greg gave us a new band title, the Bearded Five.
I see that. Yeah.
How do you, that's the one thing I was trying to figure out. I don't know how to pull up the chat while I'm doing this.
It depends. That's the thing is I don't know, what you guys are looking at. I've got it on my actual laptop right now. Does anyone else see the chat on the side?
No, I don't. That's
If
why
I
I was
turn
going to
it-
ask that. I can't see any of the comments.
So I put it where you guys could see it. But I think
Yeah,
it's-
I don't
All
see it. I put mine sideways just to.
are you guys on Safari?
I'm on Safari.
If you click the chat
Yeah.
icon at the bottom, you can then see either live comments or private chat back and forth.
Okay.
Okay, I see the live comments. There they are, and then there's private chat. So if
Oh, there we go.
can you guys see my private? Is the private chat us then?
Private chat's us, and I haven't clicked on I'm on comments right now.
Yeah.
You have to wait. You can watch it, Todd, but you have to wait for someone to send you a link to be able to join it.
And I don't know how many people. I think 6 might be the limit, maybe 5. I don't
I
know.
mean, we should just might as well just open up the floodgates and just.
There's gonna be
see how
just
much-
boom, 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 boom.
Right.
Like, you got 20 people on the feed right now.
Right.
I mean,
It's party.
Might as well see how much you can actually do.
Yeah, I mean, this is test run, man.
That's why I'm doing it tonight,
Let's
and
go
I think
big.
that some people have enjoyed it, and I appreciate that. I shared it to just the community page. I haven't shared it to any of the other cigar or bourbon pages that we normally share it to. I just wanted to take an opportunity. This might be where we have to go going forward with all of this, and with the podcast itself, and then you have
Shut up, Todd.
And then you have, I actually like this to a point where we can have a couple times a month of the community page where I can actually just post it straight to the community page and see who wants to talk about stuff. You know what I mean? I think, I'm going to say now more than ever, I think this is something, especially if we're all limiting our time out of the house and socializing. I don't see Todd.
Yeah, he
Hey, Todd.
He's that little blue ball in that gap right there.
Tell him to stand up or something, or get behind the camera.
Neon's on? Is that a neon suit? What are we looking at here?
Todd, Ryan said stand up so they can see you.
How about come on the camera real quick?
Yeah, come on the camera.
All right, Bobby, while Todd finds his way around the shop, what are you drinking there?
What do you got there? Some Jeffersons. Okay.
This is the Grand Selection, the private selection, like French Oak. Debating on opening this one up tonight or not.
I say you crack it. Because
Todd, bring that.
Why not?
My cigar.
Or Bobby, what other John Belly wants in? All right, let me see if I can add John Belly. John, I'm going to send you a link, and believe it or not, I've been on camera for 2 hours, so I might have to let you guys run it for a second.
Right. Believe it or not, we all believe it.
I need a cigar slash.
What's up, bitches?
Did you say what's up, bitches?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that happened.
Fair.
Literally, if you do not have a beard, you can't be on this cast. It's literally what's happening.
Did he shave?
No, I didn't shave.
Todd,
I
that hoodie color is slimming on you, man.
Right in the beard.
So I want to be upfront with everyone. If anyone's tuning in right now, this is not a substitute. Are you drinking out of the bottle, Ryan?
Absolutely. I don't have a glass.
Is that Jefferson's or that Woodford?
That's a Woodford.
This is a gift.
You think Ryan has
Dave
it
Merritt, and it's a Woodford Reserve, one of his favorites. He gifted it to me, I think, my last day.
Rob, what are you drinking?
I'm searching. I picked this up when I was down in Louisville.
There you go. Wilderness Trail.
Is it some good stuff?
You enjoy it.
So I'm working on it now. I think things are gonna change, but I'm working on getting the Wilderness Trail company up to hit some Columbus shops, Columbus pubs as soon as we get through all this stuff. I've got a contact that's going to come up with Rolling Barrel tours. We're planning on April, but it might change at this point. But we're going to get some Wilderness Trail people up here to not like that. I know, Nate, you have a bottle.
So I guess I'm going to crack that open then.
Well, there you go.
Stare at my ceiling for a minute, guys. Sorry.
All I see is your.
Which Wilderness Trail is that? The regular bourbon or the bottled and bond?
It's the Family Reserve. It's the sweet mash. Hold on. There was something on the side here. It says the barrel. Okay, here's the barrel. It says stored in. Okay, yeast strain. Hold on, let me flip this shit so you can see it.
What color is the front label?
It's actually a Liquor Barn. Like select.
It's a barrel pick.
It's a small barrel pick.
Yeah, it's char and toasted. So not only charred, but toasted.
You trying to sell it to us? Are you going full sales mode there, Rob, or what's going on here?
Dude,
it can be yours for just a low price.
So I bought it.
No, I've actually heard good things. Nate, you like Wilderness Trail so far that you've had, right? Nate.
The bottle of Wilderness Trail that I had, I really enjoyed. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because we got 5 minutes before we close up. So Todd's like, I want to leave right at 9 o'clock.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, we've been cleaned up for an hour. I start vacuuming at 8 o'clock.
Do you think you're going to get a last minute customer to come into the shop?
Not tonight. Not tonight.
No, probably not. Probably not.
No, not
No,
tonight.
but
Kenny's
Nate,
getting ready to leave.
Business as usual tomorrow at this point, correct? Nate,
Say again?
business as usual tomorrow at this point, correct?
As far as we know, we've not heard anything else from Easton. It's business as usual for us until they say otherwise.
Correct. Or we hear other from the government.
I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened it, read it. It said we were suckers. Anybody?
No. It's a Rob Wilson original, as far as I know.
Public Enemy,
So, guys,
man. Back in the day.
I had a bourbon that I'm not sure if any of you, if you've had. Well, I'm sure you guys have had it, especially you and Nate. But it was everyone's had the Russell's 10, but I had a Russell's 6-year rye the other day. I really liked it. Has anyone had that yet?
Very good.
That was damn good.
I don't drink enough. I need to start drinking more.
Well, you're going to have your opportunity, I think, coming up, bud.
God damn.
So are the liquor stores still open?
Again, I'm not trying to make light of it. I hate,
Dude,
anyone that
guys,
knows me,
we got to make some light of it.
No, you four included. You know I don't make light of shit. I just look at it as like, I'm not going to go 100% full panic mode at this point. You know what I mean?
No.
And even if it gets worse and worse and worse, that's my mentality, man.
There's always light. We're all gonna get through this. It might take some time, and it might take some adjusting as far as our lifestyles are concerned. But at the end of the day, we will all get through this.
At the end of the day, we got bourbon, we got cigars, and we got friends.
That's really it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Scotty Tuhati, he says liquor stores are open, which Scotty, I actually sent a Facebook message to you to join the conversation. It's relevant to our crowd, but I mean, it's in a sense sad that people in other states right now are actually panicking about the fact that liquor stores are getting closed.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, all things considered, this is not a priority, but
I mean,
it's
look
funny.
at it like too. I mean, everything is like if you went to Texas, because I'm in Texas, every single gun store is sold out of ammunition. All their guns are sold out. I know in Vegas, the same thing happened. Like in Texas, you literally had to have a Texas driver's license to go in and buy any ammunition. Like they're not letting out of state people buy it.
Well, for the first time in my life, I have a firearm in my house, and that's not because of my call. You know what I mean? Like I am trying to make everyone, like Liz and everyone else, feel safe, and I don't respond well to that, but I'm at that point where, if I care about someone that wants to feel safe, that's what we do. It actually it hits me at the core that's actually a thought for some people, that we might get to the extreme that you have to defend your house. And
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the extreme to defend your house. I think it's the extreme of what's not going to be able to be bought or what's not going to be prioritized to be shipped or any of those.
Well,
things.
that leads to looting.
Exactly,
I
it leads to looting.
Looting.
Yeah.
Most of the people who are going in there were responsible.
Boys, I'm gonna trust you to keep this conversation going for like 2-3 minutes. I got to take a piss, and I'm gonna grab another cigar. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
You guys going anywhere? Or you guys good?
I know I'm too irresponsibly in charge. You're leaving Robin.
Community's listening, so
Ryan's the manager now.
Ryan's gonna kick it off.
You take over, bro.
What's that?
I said you're the manager now. You take over.
All right, man. I've been trying to get a hold of you, by the way. I can't. I've been wanting you to stop by and see the place, and obviously, right now, I mean, as it is with all the all businesses altogether. I mean, the orders have been slowing down, and not much business is being done. But
very little.
Once we get past this speed bump as a nation, I mean, we plan on being back and being full throttle, and it sucks too, because I was in a position where we were on track for a record month for the business, which was huge. That was one thing I was super proud of.
Oh,
And now
you
all
should
of a sudden, yeah, now all of a sudden, like, we're stuck in this point where it's just like,
But you're doing your
records.
Facebook videos, though. You're doing your Facebook
What's that?
videos. You're letting your community know what's happening.
You're on top of it, dude.
I mean, that's all you can do.
I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. I'm trying to let everyone know what's going on with the lounge, and at the end of the day, it's I still want to be, I want to feel like I'm in control of what's going on.
I'm going to be very candid right out the gate, and I'm not the first one to say it. And whether or not it's frowned upon, I don't know. But one of the nice things about you taking over that position there is you are someone who's out there with the public, doing the things that need to be done. That's going to help give them a chance at being successful. So bravo to them for finding someone like yourself to take them to that next level. But bravo to you to seizing the opportunity and putting that out there. So
thank you, brother.
They're definitely in good hands. Finally, nothing against the prior gentlemen that were there, but we all know, and we've all said it to you, bro.
And the best compliments that I've received so far from a lot of the regulars and a lot of the people that hell, even that stop in maybe once a month, and they've said to me like things are changing, and like they feel like there's a vibe change when they walk in the door. They feel like they're welcome. They feel like they feel like they're experiencing something completely new with a place they've already been to and maybe have had bad experiences with in the past. And again, that's nothing against the previous guys that were in that position.
They were all very nice people. Very nice people.
Yeah, the one guy actually still comes in and hangs out with us like every week, and he's a great guy and one of my very close friends. Nothing against anybody that's ever been in that position. It's just being in the retail side for 8 years, you have a greater understanding of how
the retail side, the ref jaunt that you had, dude. Yeah, you get it, and we say it all the time, and or at least I say it a lot. And all the territories I've covered, and I can't believe it's been 6 years that I've been on the road with Rocky Patel. But
how many?
6 years. Yeah, in this territory, only 2.5.
Got it.
Yeah. But one of the things I say the most is like it doesn't matter how nice of a coat of paint there is. It matters about the energy, the life, what people feel when they step through those doors. That's
Absolutely.
what makes a place successful.
It's like a dive bar. There's a dive bar.
Bingo. That's I've always been I'm a breakfast guy, and I love my diner breakfasts. I love when you roll into that diner, you belly up to the counter, and you're hanging out, you're watching the guys cook and having conversation with them, and and it's just that more intimate kind of personal environment. I always say my time in Chicago, that was one of the my favorite things about Chicago was all the small music venues that are there, because that personableness. I mean, that's what keeps people coming back. That's why places are successful, and it's finding the right people to lead that. And again, bravo to them for finding you, and bravo to you for taking those reins. So, and that all said, yes, I obviously once we do get over all this craziness, I'll definitely be rolling in.
So
and,
are you not traveling at all? I assume.
So we actually had a conference call this afternoon, and one of the great things, you guys know me, I'm a little hokey sometimes. I mean, I honestly, the guys I work for are a great group of guys, and they treat us like family. And that was the main pitch today in our conference call, was the fact that, we're family, and Rocky said it over and over again. And Dave Bullock, our VP of sales, and Nish, they all reiterated, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, watch out for your customers. And, so it was even them telling us to watch out for all you guys as well. And just be smart about it. No hotel stays anymore. They're like, if you can get out there and and see your local people, but use your judgment. I mean, if you got a little bit of a cold, stay home. Don't put people in harm's way.
Yeah.
If you're in a spot and customers are gathering and you notice someone not maybe being conscious of others, leave.
Yeah.
And just be safe and just take care of each other. That's it.
I do have a question.
Absolutely.
Is there anything happening with like Rocky Patel cigars in the like pipeline, or any of the productions getting like?
Honduras is shut down.
I heard.
The
No,
government shut them down.
Honduras did.
Really?
Nicaragua. Do we know?
Is that going to affect like the?
I've not heard anything about Nicaragua. We believe it will follow soon, but Honduras is shut down for I believe 7 days.
Did you?
So the factory.
You see, Cuba actually was having to accept a cruise ship.
Really?
Yeah, a ship that was not supposed to dock there, but Cuba apparently was. Grimsley, one of the customers, actually showed that they were supposed to do it, and they actually had the COVID thing going on that ship. There was whatever, everyone's using the outbreak thing a little liberally right now, but I mean, there was something going on there that Cuba was forced to, I think, take on this cruise ship because there's nowhere else to go.
Wow.
Last thing I saw is that Cuba had like 4 cases. Jesus. John Belly, we've never actually spoken in person. You've been a big supporter of the community page. You've been a big supporter of the podcast. So, John, I appreciate you joining in. So, I don't know if you know.
Welcome, sir.
But yeah, cheers to you.
How you doing? So
good. We're trying to solve all the world's problems. So we actually went mobile herf tonight. Test out this new technology that I think that I'm going to have to adopt going forward at this point. Again, not making light of it, but I mean, we're just rolling with it. I mean, we've had as high as like 20 viewers. Right now, we're at like only 7, and I don't know if that includes you guys.
That includes the 5 of us.
Share the podcast. Share the thing.
Yeah, share the podcast. I was gonna share it to all the bourbon and the cigar page while we're figuring it out. But so Cindy, who's been with us for a while, she says, I shared it. Hope he washes his hands. Full disclosure, I did. Everyone, all you guys, everyone's safe. Everyone's safe.
Right.
John, where are you located?
I'm in Walden, New York, Orange County, New York.
Oh, are you?
Yep.
How you doing out there?
Welcome to Ohio, my friend.
Everything's shut down. It's my anniversary today. We couldn't do nothing.
Wow.
What's that?
Yeah. Happy anniversary.
You can't go to restaurants, nothing.
Your anniversary is today?
Everything's takeout. Yeah, 18 years.
18 years.
Cheers.
Happy anniversary, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What did you get her?
I was going to take her out
open.
to dinner.
Nothing's open. I took her to the doctor and back. That's about it.
Right. Jeez.
Yeah, we're hoping it doesn't last too long, but they have the state of emergency. So
are you guys shut down out there besides restaurants?
No restaurants, no nothing. No, everything's takeout to Windows and Grubhub and all that crap.
Wow.
You can do Grubhub and all the deliveries, yeah?
Yeah. Well, we can here too, right?
Right. So someone made a comment earlier, and I want to share this to everyone, that if you feel safe doing it, but I think Bobby was on, I don't know if Ryan was on, and I don't know who's watching still, but Kylie said that, being a part of the service industry is that if you have an option of delivery and you have an option of carry out, I'm not trying to take anything away from like Uber Eats or any of those DoorDash and that stuff, but I mean, everyone's got to support everyone. But if there's a restaurant that actually is having servers deliver curbside or any of that stuff, and you know it,
that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Pick it up yourself and tip the people.
tip.
at the
Yeah, I
restaurants.
don't
Take
trust
care of
you.
people.
Yeah, I mean, that was-
taking a bite of my food and a sip of my drink or something. Who knows? I've seen videos, guy drinking people's milkshakes, and then I don't know who would order a milkshake through a delivery in a cup.
Bro, the delivery's 10 or 15 minutes. They might think.
I had a guy I ordered Uber Eats one time from B-Dubs, right? And he had to be new to the area. This is about a year ago. And so I see it, I ordered this Uber Eats. This is before all this shit was happening. And so then you can track them, right? And I get an alert that your food has been picked up. It's on its way. I'm like, all right, great. About 10 minutes later, I check the map. He's still in the B-Dubs parking lot. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, all right, so maybe he's like waiting on someone else's order.
Right.
There's a couple other restaurants around there or whatever. So then all of a sudden I get a call from like California. I'm like, all right, I got to answer this. And he answers, he picks up. He's like, where are you at? I'm like, I'm sorry, who is this? Like, this is your Uber Eats delivery. I'm like, did you not get the address? He's like, yeah, I have the address. Where is that? I'm like, I gotta walk you through your job now, man. He's like,
Right.
yeah, California.
A couple days ago.
Broken accent, but I'm like literally sitting there. I'm like, so on the app that
Jesus.
guided you to the restaurant, is it still open? Like, can you open that app? It'll take
It'll take you to the
You-
address.
You can only
need to now
explain
bring
so
the
much
food
before you
to.
sound like an absolute asshole. You're like, so here's what you gotta do: keep that app open, and then hit the button that I think is on there, and it will actually give you the GPS directions to my house. And he just hung up on me, and like 5 minutes later, the food was there. I was like, I don't know if he likes me or not. Like, I think there was
Check it.
that.
check it out.
I mean, all full disclosure, I think I ordered 20. There weren't 20 in there.
In Dallas, they actually allow Uber Eats to travel by bicycle.
Really?
And what you'll get is if you order through Uber Eats, that it'll say it's a bicycle coming your way.
Is anyone else watching this?
He's biting a burger.
Go ahead, Bobby.
There's your burger that was.
He's Uber eating right now. But
I love you, Ryan.
This is why we
Bobby,
need to do this more often, because I don't care if anyone else thinks this is funny, but anyone, we all do.
So yeah,
That's all good.
they literally have like they say they travel by bicycle, and what it is, it's like literally like a hoopty car, like that picks up your food. So it says like it's gonna be like a half an hour, but they get to your house in like 5 minutes because they're not really on a bicycle. And you're like, you go outside and you're like, pick up the food. You're like, Jesus Christ, how's this car even on the road?
Right.
Throw this fucking food away because it's just like
Doesn't matter.
smoke
Doesn't
coming
matter.
out of the car. It's like how high? Like it's literally like that's what you expect of that Uber Eats car every single time.
John's point, as long as there's no bites out of the sandwich, like Ryan just took, you're fine.
Right.
That might be your food.
What's that?
You might have sent it to him.
Yeah. Ryan, what are you eating over there? Is that a burger or?
I'm eating Erica's famous Sloppy Joe recipe, and it is so good. It is so good. We stocked
Great.
up on
I had a
so much
peanut butter and
meat
jelly
at the
sandwich.
grocery store. It's fantastic.
I gotta ask, are you still in bed eating that?
Yeah.
We just got clean sheets and everything, so
All right.
Not anymore, man. Not anymore. After tonight, for multiple reasons, I hope they're not clean.
back in the laundry.
All right, so this is Scotty Too Hottie. Again, this is an
Scotty Too Hottie.
informal
Scotty.
get together
What
on the Urban and BS community page.
How's it
And,
going, guys?
I'm just here. I don't know shit. So
I can't hear anyone.
you can't hear anyone, Scotty? Scotty,
Say something, Steve.
Scotty,
There's an audible treat happening here.
all right, Scotty. Scotty, delete the link or delete your thing or get off of there and then come back on.
Can't hear a thing.
Come back on. Come back on.
Maybe it's because he's actually
Damn it.
watching the app. like he's on Facebook app and also on the stream, and depending on how his like.
Give him
headphones
sign
are.
language.
Can you hear us now, Scotty?
Is that good?
Can you hear
No,
us?
you can't hear him.
I can hear him. So maybe 6 is too many. I don't know.
There's a little audio button on the bottom. Maybe it's
I hear it clicking. This is why we're doing it before we do a podcast. Rob, what are you
on the
laughing
bottom,
at?
There's an audio. You might have it muted.
Rob and the two Rob got each other so quickly. We were on something. And we
I hope you guys are on something.
what happened? Are you good?
We knew.
We were moving our mouth like we were talking, but we weren't saying anything. So to confuse him, and he and I just both jumped on that.
Look at Scotty right now. I think he's like either performing like kung fu or opening a laptop. I'm not sure which.
Jesus, Scott.
There.
How
Can
about
you hear
that?
it?
On my computer.
All right, yeah. Log back in on your computer.
He is on his computer.
No, he's not yet. John, you got a protocol shirt on, right? So we're just hanging out tonight. This is a group hangout.
Just happen to have it on today.
Eric was wondering if anyone else wants a Sloppy Joe will do delivery.
Word.
Right off the top.
Put Eric
I'm
on.
just
Go
in
to
West
bed, all right? Put Eric on. Go to bed, all right?
I will be in bed after this Sloppy Joe and after this podcast.
Is that a manwich or what are we dealing with over here?
Hey babe, is this Manwich?
Don't ask for the secret recipe.
Grandma,
right now, all right?
meatloaf.
Meatloaf, Ma.
That's
No,
all,
no
Marcelo.
Manwich over here. Oh,
John's got people out here too. Who do you got there, John?
Hey, say hello, Joe. Hi. My son.
Hello.
This is I'll get rid of him right now. This is bourbon and bullshit.
It's bourbon and BS. No, come on.
Oh, I'm sorry, BS.
You can't take the New York out, John.
Right.
Take me out of New York. You can't take the New York out.
All right. I hope Scotty has a shirt on. I don't know.
Scott, turn on.
Yeah, put it in front of the camera. No, this way. No, wait.
Scott, you're on mute.
I'm not on mute. I'm not on mute.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
It's a little bit clicking.
Take your mute.
This
I can
part-
hear everybody else, but I can't hear Steve.
That's probably better.
Can't hear him.
Probably better. Did everyone else hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Is everyone else hearing clicking?
Yes.
yeah.
That's Ryan.
Ryan, that's just him chopping his.
This is
That's. I was gonna say, yeah, that's him chewing.
He's like, he doesn't know how to hold the phone. He doesn't have a stand.
All right, so Scotty, you can't hear me apparently, yeah? You can't answer that.
sign language.
It's fine. What are you talking about?
Can you hear me, Scotty?
Scotty, can you hear me?
I can hear all of you guys. I can't hear Steve.
Oh, well, why did you?
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
That's no bullshit.
All right,
So,
so
John,
I'm
are
logging
you
into my computer.
now? Like, I got
what up, John?
I'm logging into my computer. This is a
Rough
shit
waking
show.
up.
Oh.
I think Ryan's chewing over everybody's talking.
What'd you say, John?
Oh my gosh.
It's definitely
John.
Ryan.
John.
Ryan, is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm curious.
I can hear it.
Am I
Can you hear
in
the
the
clicking?
Yes.
No, that's my back deck.
All right,
Wait,
so
I got pants on. Look,
wait, well, what are you doing there, John?
that's my back window.
Okay.
Oh, 'cause of the curtains. You look like shower curtains.
Let me try this real quick. Scotty, can you hear me? Scotty, can you hear me?
What up?
Scotty, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Ground control.
You can hear me.
Major Tom.
John.
I'm saying there's an audio button on the bottom.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Now you can hear me.
Not on mute.
No, I think it's just we're pushing the.
I can hear you guys. I just can't hear Steve.
Yeah, we're pushing.
Hey
the,
Ryan, why don't you mute yours for a minute? Just mute it for a second.
Ryan, take a couple breathers. Like, log off for a second and come back on. You're obviously busy. Is that lasagna now? Like, what are we dealing with over here?
He said he could hear everybody but you, Steve.
Well, and a lot of people in life probably appreciate that, John.
Let me mute it. Hold on, I'll mute it.
See, he heard you.
Ryan, get out while you eat and come back on. You have the link, all right?
Oh, he muted it. The clicking stopped.
All right, sounds good.
Wait, no, it didn't.
I'll be back.
Sounds like someone's teeth chattering.
All right, Scotty, can you hear me? Still nothing.
Okay, 1 second.
That is such an audible delight right there. No more
Isn't it?
clicking.
This
And
is
but
what
of course it
happens
was
when we're
Ryan.
talking. Like Bobby was on earlier. This is what happens when we get to that
Hey,
point
tell
where
Steve to shut me out of this because I'm going to get back on it through my computer.
I will.
If anybody can hear
I
me.
gotta get my wife
Yeah,
in here. She
we
knows.
hear
you're
you.
gone. You're
that
Scotty. I
everybody
love
else
you.
is-
You're gone.
Boot
You're
his
gone.
ass.
Hey, Rob, are you using your phone?
Yeah.
You're using your phone, Steve?
No, I'm on a laptop.
Tyler
Can
Jones
everyone hear me?
in the house.
Hear you.
He's sitting there at the Stogie
Tyler,
Smoke
can
Stop.
you hear me?
I can see that window in the background.
I can't hear Tyler.
None of us can hear Tyler.
It's actually probably better that way, right?
It might be. It might
Tyler,
be.
can you hear us all? Just
It's because he doesn't have a beard.
yes or no.
Yes, he can hear us.
This is better. Tyler can't talk right now.
Yeah, sign language, Tyler.
You could be the new spokesperson.
Weird.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
All right, Tyler, gone. Scotty, we have a lamppost.
The lamp has more conversation than Scott right now.
It's a gorgeous thing. John, this is a pleasure meeting you for the first time over the internet right now. I appreciate your activity on the page.
That's hilarious.
I don't know if Scotty's
I'm
looking
gonna
down.
send my lamp. He has more to say than I do.
What's that there, John?
He's sending his lamp because it has better conversation.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Jesus Christ.
Might as well show you.
I'm getting on
Say hello.
Facelip. I'm getting on my computer right now.
Did you say face lip? We are now on the community page where there are some people that are drunk.
Oh God.
This is the community page at this point. This is it. This is what we're left with.
Why am I still waiting for Bobby Hirschman to come on? I'm just waiting for that last.
Oh, you can answer that. I can't. Scott, can you hear me? Jesus. He's gone.
Wait, I'll take a picture of my chandelier just in case.
That's gorgeous.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You guys in the same house?
It's almost the same. That's up right above me.
That's
There you go.
hilarious.
I got to tell you what, guys. This is what we're going to need coming up. Not to get serious. This is what we're going to need.
Yeah.
I'm glad we do this.
Yeah, me too. Me too. A lot of fun.
Thanks for having me. I can't get out to Ohio, right?
Yeah.
No. John, I mean, are you smoking and drinking, or are you just in your house right now?
I'm in my
Is that
house.
a shower curtain behind you, more
I have a
importantly?
little Blackwish vodka with my coffee. Blackwish, Death Wish vodka, coffee vodka.
Okay.
Vodka with
Okay.
coffee flavor in it.
All right.
Really good.
Is that a shower curtain behind you? Or are you in
Yeah,
the
he
bathroom?
Rob asked me if I was taking a crap while I was talking. No, that's my
This is curtain.
that's my sliding doors to my deck.
It's a lovely
My
curtain.
dining room.
Lovely curtain. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Steve, who was
My wife will come out and say, "I'm getting rid of those because it looks like a shower curtain." It does. Yeah, my son.
You can't smoke in the house, all right, John?
I'm not getting out to smoke in the garage.
Next time you
my
got to
wife, my wife smokes. Be quiet. I don't know if anyone has a 13-year-old, but you know how that is.
Nope.
I love that
no,
Pat
my wife
Styles, so I'm going to
smokes
put it up
too,
here. Is that, here are the two messages from Pat Styles. This is what we're doing tonight. No format, constant roasting. And then there's he's on the shitter.
He's on the shitter.
That's it. I'm sitting this way. Okay, we're going to this wall. I can still see the curtain.
You look more like you're on the shitter now, John. And that looks like your toiletries.
Let's try the kitchen. Here we go. I gotta do that swing.
This is what we're left
The back one. Now it looks like
Ladies
the
and
shower
gentlemen,
door.
this is what we are left with.
Yes, it is. As the bombs drop, we'll be here
I feel like
together.
we'll be playing a dodgeball or watching dodgeball.
All right, I'm taking a shit. We'll just say that. It's easier.
You got any toilet paper?
I was getting ready to use that.
I mean to it.
I don't have a square to spare.
Oh, Jesus. Is it the same out there? Is all the toilet paper gone?
Everything's empty. Everything's empty.
Yeah.
They're restocking. People, I saw a guy I'm waiting for my wife. She just went in to get something in Hannaford near me. It's Hannaford. And some guy comes walking out with 4 bags of frozen shrimp. Not even, he buys like $60 worth of frozen shrimp. He's carrying them, not even in the
Say
shop.
shrimp?
Like frozen shrimp in the plastic bags. 3 in each hand.
We're gonna live
And then
like
I'm looking-
kings right now.
I'm like, you won't even pay 5 cents for a bag, but he'll eat 6 bags of Chinese shrimp.
Wow.
Where you buy shrimp, they're telling you stay away from Chinese products for now, and the guy's running out of there like his hair was on fire. Frozen
I
in
went
his
to
back,
a superstore.
frozen in the
I bought
back
my
of his
rice
pickup
and
when he's
everything.
back in the store. These
I didn't
people are
care.
insane.
I went to the groceries earlier, and my main objective was just to find some ground beef. You know, as a
Good luck.
you know, I live by myself. I don't, you know, and after they took us off the road, you know, I don't have any food here. So I had to go find some stuff, and I was able to find, you know, a few refinements, but I wanted some ground beef.
Yeah.
And I had to go to 5 places to find ground beef. And I'm there, and they bring out some toilet paper as well. And I'm like
in the deli?
No, at the grocery store as I'm walking
Right out of the
through.
bathroom.
And they bring out toilet
Hang
paper. And I don't need any because I have
You
plenty
bought
here.
it. You bought it.
And I almost did, and I'm like, oh my God.
You should have bought it at this point.
No.
This is
No.
where we're at.
No, this is
I
this
think
is
of the
that's
elderly.
I
That's
stopped.
the only
I'm
ones
like,
I
I
worry
can't do
about.
it. I'm not
They
gonna
can't get to
succumb
the
to
store,
this.
you know?
All right, is this working
So
now?
Tyler.
Reminds me of.
Yes.
And you know what this reminds me of, right? So
Yeah, you're on, Tyler.
All right, cool.
I can't hear
I can't
Bobby.
hear you.
I can't hear
Everybody-
Tyler.
why does
Bobby,
everybody
can you
look
hear
sad
me?
now?
You can't hear me?
Oh yeah,
No,
Bobby.
You can't hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There you
Can you
are,
hear me?
Bobby. You smart ass.
All right. So you guys know what this reminds me of, and this is what I mean in everyday life. And I'm not going to get that far down this rabbit hole, but you know, Rob, you saying what you were saying is that when we were down in Cuba, like literally, like the full blown communist country, and
Right.
I think there's other reasons behind this long term, but you know, the first day we were there, we had a house staff in the Airbnb, and the person that was actually doing the breakfast, he literally was like, I have 1 egg for each of you. And then you talk to them further, and they're saying that it's like I could do you a chicken breast dinner, but they have to go to 6 different groceries, 6 different markets to hopefully get, if you have 4 people, 5 people, 6 people. Like it's not what we're used to, and that's where we're at.
Right.
That's a very interesting point. That's where we're at. At this level is that you can't just go in and grab anything.
Well,
Right.
so I could talk. I mean, I know Dustin could talk about this, and also like my dad's one of the.
Hi, Rob.
What up, Tyler?
We still can't hear you, Tyler.
Wait,
But you look great.
I just
Thank
I
you.
can hear him. I
I
can
just
hear him.
got out of the bathroom.
No, but
You can't hear me?
like Giant Eagle, because my dad's one of the districts for Giant Eagle. It's like they're getting supplies in. It's just like they can't have people enough at the shelves to like limit, like to put the limits down because people are just doing whatever they want.
Right.
And I know like they're now working on even doing like an elderly like hour so they can actually have supplies for the elderly to be able to come in
Beautiful.
and have down. And then they're also doing like for the employees, because you gotta remember the employees are there. Like they're
Yeah.
holding stuff back for their employees because they have
Yeah.
to.
They're doing that everywhere, yeah.
And so it's It's
They're doing the veterans tour.
being ridiculous. Like
Yeah,
I feel like grocery stores and anyone else, like that's one of those things that I think that I'm gonna try to add someone else. I think that Jesus Christ. I think that the grocery stores, like especially in the U.S., they can make decisions on this. What's shocking to me is that when you see that, like in Ohio, DeWine gets the question, and then Trump gets the question about, this is days ago now, but like the toilet paper thing, it's like, what are you going to do about it? It's like, that's the one thing I can say is that in the society we're in, the capitalist society we're in, it's like there truly should be the owners of these businesses literally like stepping in. Don't wait on the fact that we need like fucking government control over this. It's like
exactly,
people can't do this on their own, then a Kroger, a Giant Eagle, or whatever fucking grocery store you have needs to be able to go in and be like, all right, we're going to step in now.
Right.
Well, they've been stepping in. It's just that literally
not around here.
Well, here's the thing: the law is against them saying it's. You gotta remember, like when e-commerce started up, like I think like there was one of the CEOs of Diaper.com, like they literally kept asking like P&G to like send them supplies.
Right.
P&G said no, so they would go to Costco or like Sam's Club and buy off all the stores, and literally any of those stores cannot tell the customer no, or they can get fired. And so it turns into, they are saying, do not do this, be conscious, but if the customer wants to be a dick, they can be a dick. And do you think anybody wants to lose their job right now?
No, but I've gotten, all right, so the 6 of you that are on this feed and anyone else listening, how many fucking emails have you gotten from the CEOs of companies that you bought one thing from?
Right.
That are saying like we're all in this together and all. It's like, all right, so go fuck yourself, because if you actually like we're gonna do more than an email that someone else drafted up for you, like this is where it's like, and Dustin, who probably can't be on this feed tonight because he literally has been working nonstop at Kroger, which is a major company for groceries here, they have not been given that directive that they are not allowed to check out people with more than
Because
one or two.
They can't.
They absolutely can, because it's still a private business.
It's literally they can't because of the type of supplies it is.
I disagree.
It's different for like limited edition bottles. Like
So you're saying they are waiting on government control over that?
No, it has to come saying that the government would have to say that they can do limits on certain grocery types to be able to do that, because we'll say one person can't do this and another person can.
I heard that. They can't ration anybody.
They can't ration it, then that's really true.
Private business can't.
Some are putting limits to per
that's
family.
truly
I've seen it.
Hang on, John, go ahead. John, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Price Chopper, we happened to go there. I was on my way back from PA, and we went in the store. My mother, oh my God. My wife picked up a few things. We said, we might as well go in and look. So she got a few things, and we see where the paper towels were and stuff like that. They did have limit 2 per customer on certain things. I'm like,
that's good.
man. But the thing is, the only guy I saw up near us is Stu Leonard. He came on himself. He was on actually the news, and he said, we have packed warehouses. The problem is, you could see his shelves are being stocked, meat, everything. He says, the problem is it's going so fast, I don't have the drivers to move it up here. I don't have enough drivers. I said, I got a limit. I'm not at 50, 60 stores. I'm like maybe 10 stores around the New York area, Jersey, whatever. And he said, I just can't get enough drivers here at one point.
Well,
because a lot of drivers don't want to travel.
Supply and demand also were in that tricky point where supply and demand is that like all manufacturers can do that, like the trucking's still going on, but if they go above and beyond, this is like, I hate to say it, but it's a bad business decision, because when this thing calms down, it's you can't get to that point where you're just pumping out excess. one, and again, this is something that I'm not going to like put any value to, but there was some social media attention to the fact that there were some certain stores in certain states and areas that were literally saying they were not going to take back things. They were not going to take back toilet paper. They're not going to take back paper goods. They're not going to take back some of these things that people may or may not return. And I don't think that's the right way to do it. I truly think that, you know, the true, like, let's get back to it. Like, the true American spirit of it is that, you know, it is on the business owner side. So if you want to capitalize on, you know, buy fucking 96 rolls equivalency. Yeah. And this is what we're dealing with. You can buy 4 rolls of toilet paper that are equivalent to 96. It's just like insane.
But the thing is, you got to remember, the thing that the government can control is price gouging.
Yep.
One thing. So
not on eBay, not on Amazon yet.
They have the supply and they're actually doing it. They are going in against people saying stop price gouging because of a pandemic again. But the reality is, when you can't say no to the customer. You can't say no to those things unless there's like an MSRP or there's like an actual like limited edition. That's literally all it is.
The small businesses and the gas stations are gouging up here. Guy wanted for.
You say gas stations?
Yeah, gas stations. They'll have those double hand sanitizers.
Yeah.
Go buy them from like Dollar General. They're charging. They want like 2 little 6-ounce bottles, maybe. No, those are like the ones you carry in your purse or something or your pocket. Trying to get $12 for them.
Well, and that's the other side of supply and demand. That's the other side of capitalism. You know what I mean? Like there's no consistency here, right? Cindy says that you know, like Kroger here locally
limits
that Cindy's local, but said the warehouse is almost empty, so that's why they need to slow it down. And it's sad that it took that point. But that's the truth. I mean, it's, you know, you shouldn't have to do that. You should literally look at these situations and just flat out say, when this started happening, it's like, no, you can't check out with this. Someone's got to be in control of this. But that was that whole thing about what I said earlier about the Blue Jackets, where it's like, you know, Governor DeWine said, like, some organizations need to be told that you have to be shut down over this amount of people around each other. And I look at it as like, this is the same way. You can't let someone walk in and buy, you know, 3 cases of toilet paper.
And then
we do it in the
that's the American right to do that.
Right. We do it in the cigar industry.
Yeah.
You know, when something rare comes out and you know, we put it on the shelves, we limit, you know, so we can make sure other customers have a chance, you know.
For shit's grins, there you go.
So I mean, it's doable. Just people need to want to take the responsibility, and unfortunately, I mean, you know, manpower and all that. I mean, when the stores are overloaded with all these customers who are hoarding, does that grocery store have the power during, you know, because there are self-checkout lines and everything like that to monitor all this? The biggest thing is just like anything in life, accountability, you know, responsibility to yourself and to your brethren.
There's a scarcity there, even if, like, you know, I was the one that, and Josh, chime in. You look at you're very comfortable in your shed, and Tyler, you guys closed down, I assume, at this point. But, you know, I was walking through, so I had to pick up my non-essential prescription on Thursday at CVS, right? But what did I do? I walked through the paper goods aisle, and there was some toilet paper. I didn't just do this whole thing where I'm just like sweeping everything. I grabbed 16 rolls of two of name brand stuff and 2 of off brand stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what we have at home. Liz normally gets that stuff at like Costco, but I've seen all that shit. So it's like, but while I'm walking through there, I don't want to be that guy, but it's like at the same time, I'm going to be that guy that, all right, so there's toilet paper here. I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm reading all about this stuff. So I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm going to get you know.
And you got a woman in the house. Changes everything when it comes to.
I drink a lot of protein shakes, in all honesty. My cheat meal is B-dub. So I mean,
so here's another way to look at it too. Like, so when we had the tornado that came through Dallas,
Right.
and we literally, like, I was right when it happened. I waited at Home Depot to get a generator so I could be able to have like AC because it was during the summer. And the thing was, what was happening with like the Home Depots was they literally, like Home Depot, Lowe's, they literally would have the other stores to ship the actual generators to Dallas during those case of emergencies things.
Yeah.
I don't think they have that type of thing for the grocery stores because they were never prepared for that in the beginning.
No, the one thing I'll say about this, and I'm not talking about, oh, gosh, I'm sorry you're getting low on that small bit. But, you know, the one thing that I'm not going to talk politics a whole lot, but it's what bothers me is that when the president comes on, because we're such that high level of a dynamic agree or disagree, that when we went into the state of emergency, the big thing is that everyone was asking about toilet paper. Everyone was like asking about like, what are we doing today? And it was just a great presidential speech. No matter who's in office, it was just literally, we're freeing up this money. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to like make sure that testing facilities are available. People actually still were saying like, what an idiot.
Right.
It's not okay for me. And I'm not going to get in politics, but it's like we get it into that in the state level. And John, I know you're in a different state, but the rest and Bobby, who walked away, you know, he hear us, but he's in a different state. And I just look at it as like, dude, we're all in it for the same situation. You can disagree, you can agree, you can be an advocate, you can talk against it, but when it comes down to it, it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Right.
Go against it? All right. Better on you if you want to do that. I have very, very big disagreements on what's happening right now, but I am also not that person that's going to say, not my president, not my governor, not my whatever. And when things come downhill and this is the decision made, this is the government. This is what they're saying. So I can piss and moan all I want, but when it comes down to it, it's like I have to abide by it.
Right.
And I will struggle. We'll all struggle. But this is the future we're in.
But we'll get through it. I mean, that's the thing is, you know, again, I don't think anybody, again, it's taking that step back and really looking at your situation. And I'm very lucky. So I don't mean to speak out of turn because I'm very blessed. I am going to be okay no matter what, you know. But and I understand that there are others out there, especially in the restaurant world. Help my girlfriend. She's a hairstylist, and people stopped showing up today. And she's self-employed, so she doesn't have even the unemployment option. So I know there are people out there that are going to struggle. But even in that scenario, hopefully you can step back and realize that, again, there are others out there struggling as well. You can't just make this a personal endeavor. I think you still got to keep, again, your brothers and sisters in mind through all of this, because, again, no matter what political party you align with, no matter if you believe in the virus and the severity of it or not, I mean, it doesn't matter what you think. The situation is what the situation is, and the only way everybody's getting through it is together.
Well, and Rob, you and I talked, and I'll let you guys talk, but Rob and I talked on the phone today for about 25 minutes or so, and I'm not going to share everything in my personal life, but people are freaking out.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I was in Kenya. I was in Kenya when the outbreak. I was in Kenya, Africa, when the outbreak came, when it started up. Being trapped, being stuck over there, then having to come back on the plane.
Wow.
Was there a lot of issues over there, or is that like just you were hearing it from global?
Yeah, global. It just started globally. And I think they said they might have had one case at that time, but that wasn't really confirmed. So
How are you feeling? How's the family? Everyone healthy?
my wife was real sick for like 2 weeks, man, coughing out her lungs. So she's fine now.
Do we think that was something like that, or do you think it was something different?
Man, who knows? But that's the problem. Like, no one knows it. The symptoms are like a cold. You know,
Right.
You don't really know. So a lot of people are having it, don't even know.
Rob was sick early last week. You know what I mean?
Week I was, yeah.
Now he's coming around, and now he did the right thing and he stayed home.
Right. Yeah. I as soon as I started feeling rough on Thursday night, and I was supposed to be at a grand opening on Friday, and it sucked to have to bail out of that because I was really looking forward to it.
What event was that?
What's that?
What event was that?
Out in Grand Rapids, Michigan, a new shop out there.
Nice.
And great people, good partnership, and again, I was looking forward to it, but I was like, I don't want to be that one where, again, not understanding the severity of everything and not knowing exactly what I believe in regards to the severity. I still wasn't going to be someone to go, ignore it and go out there and risk anybody else getting sick. That was the last thing I wanted. So I came home on Friday. I haven't left the house until today to go get some groceries, and that was it. It's just like, what I believe or disbelieve or however I feel about the situation, I still got to, be responsible and look at how my actions might affect other people.
That's absolutely. I mean, I have literally 3 friends that actually got tested and positive for the COVID-19, and it was like 2 of the friends literally had to stay for like in the hospital or on the cruise. One was on the cruise ship, one was in the hospital after they got back, and it was like they knew they were going to be fine, but it's like they lost all their freedom or anything from it. The other friend literally tested positive, and they let him go home and to stay at home because they want, unless you're older, you didn't have any underlying conditions. It's just like it's coming to that point where it might not affect any of us in this room.
Right.
But the reality is, who is it going to affect who might have a cold or like have just poor health conditions? And that's the issue. It's not, I'm not worried about me or my wife getting it. I'm not worried about like my dad or my mom getting it because they're healthy and all that. I'm more worried about like, I don't want to be the person that says, hey, I got Steve's grandma sick. You know what I mean? Or I got
exactly.
Rob's grandma sick or anybody's sick. It's that conscious of it. And it's not being flaky about it. It's more or less just being responsible. I get where people don't want to be like stuck around people, but the reality is, I mean, there's always going to be somebody in worst case scenario. Like you said, Rob, I mean, you have the means to be able to take care of yourself. Like I'm very lucky that Holly and I have the means to be able to take care of ourselves. Like when I said in the beginning of the class, when I jumped on, like if anybody really needs my house in Ohio, I mean, I'm in Dallas. I have my house in Ohio. It has everything. I'm not against saying, hey, Ryan, your girlfriend's sick. I get you. Go to my house or have her go to my house and, take care of yourself. I mean,
well, you still can't go out there, and that's what I will say is that the one thing that I think that, and again, I'm not getting into the whole situation, but the one thing I will say that what they have right about this in any other state.
Hey guys, not to interrupt anything, but is anyone having any issues with the audio?
No,
I don't. No.
Because I can't hear Steve. I'm trying to figure out who else I can hear.
That's the cutoff. You get 6 or more, Steve.
I think 6 might be. So I'm going to remove you, Ryan, and Scotty's trying to get in too. I'm going to remove you, and Ryan, get back in. All right. So can you guys hear me?
You want me to jump out, Steve? I could jump out if you want. This is no big deal.
No, John, I'm happy you're here, man. Like you've been a big supporter of all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Stay here, bro. I love hearing that accent.
Don't laugh. When I was on my honeymoon, some freaking Hawaiian guy, I was in Hawaii, He brought me up on the stage. He goes, "Are you from Brooklyn?" He didn't even ask me if I was from New York. I said, "How'd you know?" He goes, "That accent. Some big kahuna in a grass skirt."
That's awesome.
I swear to God, you can ask my wife. She almost died because they had it on the microphone. Everybody started laughing. I said, "Why not New York?" He goes, "No, you're from Brooklyn." He said, "This is different. New Yorkers."
Hey,
That's hilarious.
Ryan, can you hear me?
Were both Robs and John supposed to come to the event, the Smoke Tent event?
Rob was supposed to.
Yeah,
I'm not able to. Ryan, can you hear me?
Ryan, you can't hear Steve, can you?
No, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm actually about to, because I can't hear Steve. I'm gonna cut this short and make it 5 guys instead of 6. That way, there's no technical.
Hey guys, tell them
anymore.
give some closing
I
remarks.
will see all of you
Don't
guys
tell them
soon.
that, really.
Everybody, please stay safe, stay healthy, take care of your loved ones.
Take
And
care.
if anyone
You
needs
too.
anything,
Thank you.
I mean, I know we're a
Amen,
pretty
bro.
tight knit community, so get a hold of me, get a hold of each other.
Yep.
And I look
Hey,
forward
Ron,
to.
I'm gonna come see you at your new shop soon, bro.
Absolutely, guys.
We're
I
gonna do
look
it
forward to
together.
seeing all of you very soon. I'll come see you at the Tinderbox when
Rob, will you tell them
when I
we're
have
gonna do
time,
it together?
and hopefully we're not, hopefully nothing more extreme is taken into place, and hopefully nothing else is implemented where we're quarantined for the next few weeks. But if that is the case, just everyone take care of themselves and just know that we have a very, very strong community, and I love every single one of you guys. So
Absolutely, my friend. Back at you.
all right,
Good.
guys,
We'll
you
talk
guys have a
soon.
great night. This has been fun. We got to do this again. Steve, this has been amazing. This is a
That's what we're
great
gonna do,
platform,
man.
so
We're gonna do that.
keep using it, and I will talk to you guys later.
Take care, my friend.
Take care.
Yep, you two guys
Take care,
later on.
man.
Josh, later, buddy.
I see you, man. Hey, Pat, I think asked me he had a question. What time frame? I think he was talking about when I was in Kenya.
I saw that question, by the way.
That was I think we got back like the first week in February.
He gone.
Pat's gone.
You know,
There he's gone. Ciao.
Yeah, I was
woman.
supposed
he's in the wind.
I was supposed to be at the event, and then I just, at the end of the day, I couldn't make it up there. Just between work and I found out my wife was pregnant, basically. So,
Oh wow!
so
Turns out.
Congratulations, man.
Turns out. Is she pregnant?
she is pregnant. We're having a boy.
I know that. I know that.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Scotty, can you hear me?
When they're 13,
Yeah, I
come
can.
back and tell me about
All
it.
right, good. All right, we got
You wanna
6
do a
people on. We
sound
can
check?
hear each other.
Everybody can hear each other.
Yeah.
Scott, can you hear everybody?
Sounds like it.
Yep.
Yep.
It was just
I'm not on my phone, so probably why you can hear me.
Hey, Scott, what are you smoking tonight in your own home?
Nothing. I'm not a smoker. I do this to support you.
Bullshit.
Known you for 85
Bullshit.
years.
Scotty Too High has the best opposite field hit in softball today. I gotta be honest. This is
Can't catch it. Sorry.
ESPN4. If you check it out ever, you will see these opposite field hits once we get back to the softball season. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I think girls are on ESPN1 now. Women's softball is now on ESPN1 on reruns, I think.
He also is great at women's softball.
I'm not sad about that. I love women's softball.
Yeah, I was out playing with my daughter today. Softball. It's fun. I've been out the house for like a week.
Good. No, I mean, yeah, it was such a good conversation. I mean, Scotty, what are you drinking tonight? You're a wine guy. What you got, man?
I'm drinking an Italian wine called Nero di Troia. It's a grape from Puglia region of Italy. Only grown there. Only grown in that region of
Not a good
Italy.
time for Italy, man. Not a good time.
Nope. So
You pouring one for your homies?
mostly what I drink and what I sell is, French and Italian wine. So that's great.
Tough time in the business.
Oh yeah.
John Belly is John. Are you all right?
I'll be back. I'll be back.
This is going to be a new thing on the community page. This is not a Bourbon and BS thing. This is going to be a new community page thing. I'm just going to filter people coming in.
No smoking, just wine.
Ooh, what you got? Can't see that. Closer. Oh,
What is it?
Rioja, Spanish.
Bobby, what is it?
That's Tempranillo.
Yes.
100% Tempranillo.
Yep.
You gonna drink it or you gonna show it?
You know me. I collect. So I'm not the biggest drinker, but I have probably the most bourbon or wine or champagne out. No, everybody, because I'm just weird like that.
You're a collector that you will share anything.
That's it. I mean, so I just buy stuff and then have people come over, or I bring it to the podcast and everybody enjoys it. That's just how I am.
Hey, if just real quick, sorry guys, but Cindy Rogers, if you're still there, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah.
Take care.
I hope I agree with her. I mean, you're right, Rob. I mean, like we've had some people like, Cindy, I gotta be honest, like the message before she left was that, your chest will feel like glass. You can't breathe all at once. You start coughing. Your chest will hurt to the point where you feel like you're having a heart attack. And then she says, I need to go. I hope you all stay healthy later. I mean, we're all in this together, man. This is where, doing the podcast on Wednesday night, if we do it, this is why I appreciate all you guys and checking this format out, because full disclosure, this might be where we go for a little while. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you gotta support each other, and you gotta do some cork pops.
Can we see if we can get a set?
Office pop.
People you can go.
I'll pour it on the keyboard, but I'm gonna lose you all.
I just want to grab a stick. I'm gonna go when I get off. I'm gonna go smoke it.
No, John, you should. What are you gonna smoke tonight, John? Oliva V. Original or Maduro? John,
Someone said it's a good one. So.
on the side of it, it'll say Liga Especial or it'll say Maduro Especial. What do you got on the sideband?
Okay, it definitely says a special Liga.
Liga, that's the original V. It's a solid stick.
He said it's better than the other one. I have the non-originals, but someone gave me this the other day.
Both good.
We're gonna try it out.
Tyler Hills, happy birthday recently. He just chimed in. Everyone say happy birthday to Tyler.
Happy birthday, Tyler.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I don't know, man. I like this. I like this feed, and all things considered, right now with what's going on in this world. I mean, I don't have any stats, and I'm not going to get into it. I look at it as this is what we can do,
right?
Rob, Scotty. I'm happy that you're part of this tonight. I know you don't always make the drive up, and Bobby, you're not in Texas. Josh, you got a family.
I am gonna make it up to Ohio,
and John, you're not local,
He's
but you're a big supporter. Rob's local, and
I'm local, yeah, but not local.
No, but Rob actually,
it's not that long of a drive, man. Believe it or not.
It's long enough. Anymore, you got to take care of yourself. And Rob and I were talking, and Rob and I share a relationship with some of these people out there, like in the industry, like Rob and Ryan Ponest and Lee and Josh, and I mean any rep, man. I'm that simple that I look at it as that if you're a rep that you're actually a real person, you're not a salesperson,
right?
This is where it gets to this level. And like Rob he and I were talking, and I just filled up my gas tank and I had my sunroof open. We're talking on the phone. I'm like, well, I don't want to be rude. And so I had my sunroof open while I was smoking a cigar, and we talked for like 25 minutes. And he said, hey, next time you have a garage night, let me know. And now Rob's a part of this.
Yeah.
We're like 15 minutes away. Scotty, we're 15 minutes away. Josh, we're 15 minutes away. This is where we're at.
John, we're 12 hours away? Not that many.
No, I think it's like,
It's
more like
8.
7.
Bobby, what's the drive?
17 hours.
From where? From
If
me?
I'm in the neighborhood, I'll stop by.
I've been that drive before.
From Texas. I think you meant me. Jeez.
I mean, I got.
I'm not that far. I'm not in Florida.
Your house is
all the
gorgeous,
weather.
Bobby. Stop showing off. You're cool.
I know. I've been looking at that the whole night.
I can do it. I can do it.
I can
Right
search
on
the
the
Shane
garage
Beer
if you
again.
want to see the 2-car garage I more or
You got
less
your own
live
bathroom,
TV
bedroom.
cribs, man.
in. It's- yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, me. I had
Where's your,
new
where's
air
your
ducts
next
put in. Look at the hole in my wall here.
Oh.
Oh.
Here we go. My vaulted ceiling. I got a vaulted ceiling too. But it's not 30 feet
All right.
high. Here we go.
Sorry.
Here's the thing.
Here's the
I want
thing.
to point out real quick, guys. Ryan Jones has been listening the whole time. That's the gentleman that the podcast sent a box of cigars from Crown Heads to. Yeah.
Dig it.
Yeah,
Well, get 'em on.
the family is strong. The family's been strong. They're in Illinois. Family's been strong. I sent him a link. He was not able to join, but I will say he just commented he's 4.5 hours away. This is one of those moments that, you know, I looked at it back then. I look at it now is the community. Like, John, you are a big proponent of this. That you haven't met any of these people,
Well,
but you
believe
want
me,
to.
on the video chats, you'd be surprised. You feel like you're hanging out with them.
Columbus, Ohio.
Well, that's my goal, and this is the big
How many
part of it.
hours?
That
8 hours.
like going forward, like so this Monday night hangout, like literally we are at 3 hours right now, but it's literally people hanging out. Yeah, Rob, with 3 hours,
Right.
which is more on me because I started this. But like this is at that point where it's like, you know, this is I think people it's what we all want. We're gonna need it.
The nice thing, again, I mean, thank God for technology and what it does give us, and you know, in this kind of craziness, because you know, whether you're you know, doing this with, you know, a group of guys that you might know very well, or you know, you know from the community, and this is the first time we meet. You know, it's nice that we can all get together and share the commonality of all this craziness, enjoy a cigar and a drink together, and have a good laugh, because that's what's going to get you through it.
What's Josh
I can
doing?
at least smell
pee break
John's gone.
outside.
We lost John.
We lost John. Scotty Too Hottie.
What up, dude? How's it going?
How you guys doing down there?
Everybody boarded up their windows.
That's not true. Don't recognize this shit.
It is crazy. Yeah,
Hold on.
everything's.
Now I'm on the left.
There's a lot of younger kids around here, around where I live. So,
My big thing is,
I mean, it's East Valley area, so there's a lot of kids that live around our development. So, it's not crazy at all. Grocery stores obviously are going to be bad, but about it.
it's not good, man. Like, regardless of how you look at it, this is not good, and that's what I want to say. Like,
education is going to fall, you know, and I think there's people in our Southern Point community page that are teachers that are going to be teaching online to kids that are living around Southern Point community. So that's great. I just, you know, what happens to them? You know, do they have to finish school? What if they're done for the rest of the year? Like, do they have to repeat 5th grade or whatever, and then go back?
You don't know.
Yeah.
People are graduating right now, and they are, like, colleges are gonna like do a full blown, like, just male diplomas. You don't walk.
Right.
Hey, you know, you have people that have worked so many years for this shit. You know?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, here's the thing about that, though. Like, they do offer, if you can't walk that 1 year, they'll let you walk another time.
Wait, who's talking? Who's talking here?
Me?
If you're in a spot and
It's funny, I'm on here,
Can you
but I'm
hear
not
me?
on the Facebook.
Hang on, Rob.
You good?
Yeah, we're good.
There we go.
Back at it.
Right.
Sound off?
So in this economic decline, I need to get a hold of Spectrum and say,
Right.
amp it up.
Right. Yep.
Kylie just said, "OMG, you people are still here."
And of course,
this
boo,
is
Rob
not a
Wilson.
Bourbon BS podcast.
What?
This is literally this is what we're doing now because of
social distancing.
I'm retired. I got all day.
Don't say socialism.
This is social distancing. That's funny.
Martial law and
I'm back.
oh Jesus, Josh. All right, Josh, give us your elevator pitch right now.
For movies?
Whatever you want, man. I'm gonna cut you out.
Let's see if it's on Facebook.
Well, I haven't seen you guys since I got back from Kenya. I think I came in that shop that one day. I just missed you guys so much. I had to join, you know.
Here I am. On Facebook.
We miss you too.
Is anyone else hearing feedback?
Yeah, I hear my lovely voice.
You like that, Rob?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Everybody knows I love to hear myself talk.
Two things, John Belly. What are you smoking tonight? You're
Not,
still
not as wait, hold on, not as much as Kylie likes to hear me talk.
I'm
though.
gonna be smoking this as soon as my battery dies on my iPad.
We can't hear John.
I can hear John.
Here we go.
Oliva V, you're gonna be smoking that as soon as your battery dies.
Yeah, because I'm on my iPad because I couldn't get it on the phone. I couldn't get the link.
I really can't hear John.
That's fine. He's gonna smoke an Oliva V when his iPhone dies. So
my
John,
iPhone, my iPad.
iPad dies. All right, John, it's good having you a part of this. Like, we're gonna do it again. This is doing this. I'm gonna do the podcast, and I appreciate everyone actually like listening in and whenever they do it.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, man. But what I think I'm gonna do going forward is depending on what happens, but I'd like to have a community page, like Meetup Online. First come, first serve. I can do 6. You know what I mean? And if
We
people
didn't test that.
We gotta try more, baby.
no, I've been declined to add more. So they have they have a free one. Pay for it, which is what I did, and then you have another one you can add like 2 more people. But the big thing is,
I'm reading your comments, Kylie. I hear you.
You have a social distancing from Rob Wilson. Point being is that I think that we can have a conversation. I got to get someone to be a sidekick in a sense, and like Nate or someone else on another night that we can do this. And then it's like take a break. We're gonna like kick you off. Then we'll add someone else. Yeah, John. Right. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like we'll bring people in.
Yeah, rotation. Yeah.
That's a conversation night. It's not the podcast. Everyone laughs because everyone's a part of it. I love that. Yeah, all right, go fuck yourself. Who's got something else to do? John, you got to go do something like smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bail, guys.
I'm getting the boot.
I'm gonna call the girlfriend and then call it a night. So so I can wake up tomorrow and dial for dollars.
It's fair.
Or maybe make a trip out to Tinderbox. Anybody gonna be there tomorrow, Steve? You gonna be there?
Open and close until they kick me out.
Until they kick you out. All right.
He's working on his e-commerce. He's got to send his 5-packs.
I think I'm gonna swing by, guys. Absolute pleasure. Had a hell of a lot of fun. This is a great thing, and let's make this a common a common thing for the community because
we
it's
should.
definitely gonna help us have some fun while we deal with all this shit.
Yeah.
So
Cheers,
and then of course Kylie, because I know you're still listening. Good night. I miss you too. All right, everybody.
She gone.
Wow.
All right, Rob. Take care. Nice meeting you.
You too.
Later, man.
See ya.
All right, boys.
What?
I'll ask you guys. I'm gonna ask you guys, like, based on the structure, we're way into this, so I gotta call it too. I mean, I'm not gonna go to bed, but give me some closing remarks of where we're at right now. Going from, I don't know what your guys' screen looks like, but I got me on the upper left, Bobby Crow, Scotty Tuhati, Josh Porter, and then John Belly. Is that what everyone's looking at?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So Bobby, give me something right now. We're gonna do this again. I first of all, let me give a once over, right? With you five. You guys good with this?
I don't have a Bobby. Who's Bobby?
Bobby Griffin. Robert Griffin.
Bob. Okay, I get it.
All right. So is everyone good with this for a community page style? Bobby.
Yes.
Scotty.
Yes.
Josh.
I love it, baby.
John.
Nah, no, it's good.
John, go fuck yourself.
No, it's
I try. I fall off the couch. Remember, I'm retired.
You're doing it wrong.
I couldn't think of a worse way to
I
do
saw
it.
Ron Jeremy do it once. I couldn't do it.
All right. So Robert Griffith.
That's disgusting.
Bobby, give me your closing remarks. I'm going to treat it like a podcast. Your closing remarks on this whole night. I think we did well. I worked out our kinks on this part, but I got to do some other things like with the webcam and shit. But this was nice.
I mean, my closing remarks is, I mean, I like it. It brings a voice to the face, especially on the page. I mean, I've never met Sky Jihadi, John, or Josh. So,
Right.
I mean, it's kind of cool to hear and actually just get that true, like, actual soul to the cast and to the actual community. I mean, based off everybody on here, everybody's good people. So, I mean, that's awesome. I think it's going to help grow the community. I think it's going to give you a one-up on other podcasts and other community pages because of just the open communication. I mean, you're not here to hide anything. You're not here to like shut anybody out. I mean, you give rules, but very loose rules in the sense of we don't talk about this. I mean, we just talk about us, and I like that. It keeps some order to it. I mean, it's up to you how much time you want to invest into it, or if you want to have other people like lead it. I think you have a lot of people who would help out with that. So I think that's kind of cool to have maybe help out with that part of it or something like that. That'd be my only feedback to it. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be you always hosting it, but I think for the first like 10 or 15 of them, like just if you do these outside of the Wednesday, I think that will help with the community personally.
Yeah.
And I also think it's just, you know, everybody has, especially whatever issues are going on around the world, especially COVID-19. I mean, I really think that this group, just like any other groups that you're a part of on Facebook or just podcasts you listen to, I mean, there's a lot of commonalities. So I know everybody's going to want to help each other out. So I think by doing this more, it's going to help build that bridge even more with the community and offer the help that people may not be able to do or give that.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's my 2 cents.
All right, Scotty.
I like this. This is awesome. You know, it's my first time doing this. I obviously everybody, but I feel like it's nice to hear everybody's opinion on things. You know, not everybody has the same opinion on everything, so it's really nice to hear other people's opinion and to meet everybody that, you know, have actually messaged in to you or commented on your Facebook page. So I get to put a face to the messages that they leave. So it's nice. I love it. Thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah.
I usually have boring Mondays and Tuesdays, and this turned out not to be. Thank you.
We're gonna have some boring ones coming up.
Yes. We get no sports, which kind of sucks, you know. but we understand the situation. But yeah, well, thank you. Thanks very much. I like how this is going.
Appreciate that. Joshua Porter.
Yeah, I like it, man, just as much as watching the podcast almost. I think.
Can't hear him.
Huh?
You can't hear. I can't hear you. I don't know about everybody
Oh,
else.
you can't hear? You guys can't hear me? Sorry.
I can hear you. John can't. Like, this is what we're learning tonight. That's why we did this tonight, is that not everyone can hear everyone.
So I'm on my computer. I don't know if that makes
I hear like murmuring. You're like very low.
Sorry, guys. I'm on my computer.
end. It might not be everybody else,
All right, so John, you might have to repeat some things, but Josh, when you're talking about it, like, what do you got?
Yeah, I just feel like, this is good to hear from everybody besides the overall general news, which, all the headlines, they take all the worst parts of everything, where this is like taking the good.
They got the same beard on top.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. John?
Yeah.
Closing remarks.
It's great. I've been on video chats before, and sometimes everybody just stares at each other like, what the hell are we doing on here? And they start staring in the dark. This was pretty enlightening, and I'm happy you let me in. It's great. Hopefully we're going to work out the kinks, a little bit of kinks. It's new. And I enjoyed it. Gave me something to do for the last hour and a half.
Yeah, so
staring at the TV.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's great.
I'm going to throw a curveball in right now.
Oh.
Never mind.
He's live, He's
Ryan,
What's up, fellas?
have you been listening, Ryan?
Right, number 2.
No, Ryan, have you been listening?
I have been listening.
All right, so you chimed in. You sound on my computer a little rough, but
How's this? Is this better?
what's your closing remarks? Get in there. So Ryan is actually the guy, Ryan Jones, who's been a part of this community for a little while, and he's in Illinois, and he's chiming in.
Yep.
Give us your closing remarks. You've been listening.
It was good. It was a good show. It was a good trial on the deal that you did.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. I mean, I like the podcast, but I also like this one too because you can kind of interact with everybody.
Yeah.
So good, good stuff.
So I'm going to say my side of it is that as we go through this, and anyone can chime off if they're getting feedback, but again, I'm not an expert, but I like what things are going on. Our business will most likely get shut down next week, and I don't like that. I don't like that. Ryan,
yeah, I don't.
Josh, what are you saying right now?
I was talking with Robert. We're having a special message between each other.
So what I'll say is that we got to keep rolling through it, and that's all we can do, because the people I see on this feed tonight, video or otherwise, a lot of good people out there. I'm happy to see everyone healthy and happy and rolling through this. And when I look at this, is my opinion doesn't mean much, but what I'm learning is it means something to some people. And I think that you guys actually mean a lot to people around you. And I hope you guys realize that and you stay positive, and no matter what happens, that you can't save everyone and you can't save yourself, but at the same time you can actually make a concerted effort to do the right thing. That's all you can do, and that's all we all can do. And it's a tough situation, so that's why we did it tonight, and I appreciate that. So
Yeah,
that's
it's definitely a piece of history for sure. I mean, it's like, you know, how you were talking about earlier, you know, that this is the first time this has ever happened to anybody.
right.
And I saw something on Facebook the other day, you know, that the kids that are in their senior year of high school this year, you know, they were born and like, you know, when 9/11 happened.
Right.
So it's kind of like, you know, they went from having that to this. So it's like, you know, what's next, you know? And I don't want to look at the future and say, you know, what's next, because we don't know what's next. We just got to, you know, get through one hurdle at a time. But I mean, this is by far one of the biggest, you know, events that I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, but when 9/11 happened, that's a big thing I'm trying to tell people is like that's the curve right now is that no one in like where you're at, Ryan, in Illinois and Ohio, like it was something that was impactful, but it didn't change everyday life.
No.
Working with the city, I was right near that pile.
You were there, John.
Yeah.
This is not new to you, but for the rest of us, it is.
It was something. I mean,
I can't find
it's
my
an
other animals
experience,
here,
but I don't.
Josh, to show off.
It's nothing to brag about, you know. It was horrible, you know.
Reality.
I mean, what I've seen, it's like I never went to war, but if that's as closest thing as to what war's like. My father did, my uncles did, but they know.
Yeah.
firsthand. That's the closest I hope I'll ever be.
What I want to thank everyone to everyone being here tonight is whether you're coming in late, you've been a part of it, like in and out, or you've been listening to this podcast, which is not a real podcast, which is relevant because of the non-event that we had. But I think this is something that we're going to do. Like, it's not going to be maybe every week because my schedule may not allow it, but it's what we got to do, man. This going forward right now, like we don't know this next week. I appreciate all you guys being a part of it, and everyone was a part of it during the podcast. It was over 3 hours. This is just a hangout. This is what we need to do. There's a community there, and I appreciate all you guys, and thank you.
Up on it. He's drinking bourbon now. What's he drinking?
Salute with my coffee.
I got to work all day tomorrow until they tell me to go home. So thank you guys. I got a little bit left. Cheers.
Oh, come on, Steve. I'm about to warm up.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you very much. I'm going to end
to cut out anyway.
this episode, but
I'll be
Yeah.
back.
Everybody, stay safe. Enjoy. Thank you, Steve, for everyone.
thank you guys all over the country.
Thanks for having me, Steve. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks to the community.
Later.
Later, guys.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
See you. Rob, Ryan, Scott, Ryan. Peace.
Here, guys.